How do you know?
What's with this cursed table? It's like nobody over here can get connected to the internet.
Like Mike the other day? Yeah, how come?
And him also this morning.
No, that's because I realized I was connected to the wrong router. Make sure you're connected to the right router because for some reason it started hooking me up to someone else's router today.
Do we need internet right now though?
See, look, go back. You're on Vicky. You're not on Vicky.
Yeah, you can go ahead and start. I'll just talk on this.
Well, you're the host, so you gotta start.
You're the host.
You ready?
Start.
Yep.
Starting in 3, 2,
Yeah.
1.
Hi guys, welcome to episode...
No, you son of a bitch.
You know how it is. It always takes a second to...
You know, but it always picks us up doing that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 57 of the 4Player podcast. It's April 5th, 2008. Today we have the usuals, David,
Travis.
Nick.
and me, of course, Brad. So
Travis.
today, so are we going to change things up a little bit?
Yeah, we're
Travis.
Okay. Yes, please. I can talk about whatever. It doesn't matter.
All right. Usually we move right into our impressions. Today we have an interesting discussion topic that was kind of inspired by Travis's recent decision in video gaming. So we're just going to move right on to that first. Well, let's first touch on what you've been playing, and then we'll move right into the discussion topic.
And what have you been playing,
I
Travis?
have been playing other than Sonic, which I played for 2 hours.
Sonic?
It only took you 2 hours to beat it?
2 or 3. The end boss itself was an hour.
You were having some frustrations, if I recall.
Yeah, I thought you were just hamming it up, but apparently you were pretty upset.
I was really upset. I want to get back
See, I've never heard somebody like get upset and go balls. So I'm like, what? What did he say?
Makes me feel better.
Balls.
That made some good
You had no idea. Y'all weren't there. The tension was so high. I had a headache. I was pissed.
Wow.
I heard you'd have bursts of getting really, really angry, then you'd be really quiet for a while.
Yeah. Sometimes I can
And that's the sign that you really.
Sometimes I can
pissed off.
handle it and I'll just shut up for a minute. And then sometimes I flip shit and slam doors.
Flip shit and slam doors.
Anyway,
Did you really
As long
slam doors?
as you didn't
Yeah.
take it out on my coat.
Whenever the
Next time,
things popped out.
Ta-da!
Next time, fuck up the spell pillar.
All right. Anything else besides Sonic?
World of Warcraft.
Oh, man.
That is it.
So is that a good game? I haven't heard much about it.
Oh, no. It's a little underrated, personally.
Oh,
No,
oh my
it's a
god.
joke, that's a joke.
Okay, but... Okay.
10 million people, I don't think you can underrate
Snap.
that.
Okay,
No.
so
That's-
since we all know what World of Warcraft is, and so
Yeah.
does everybody else in the world, it's a pretty good transition to our first discussion topic that's sort of inspired by Travis. I don't know. We've been having a hard time getting a hold of Travis, and there's been some rumors floating around.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh bullshit!
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
That maybe this had something to do with.
I've been doing more shit
That's
than
what
I ever have.
No, that's what I thought.
No, Dad. I'm just saying. You know,
I've actually
Doing
there's
his
been some
homework
phone
while
calls made.
Actually, now that I'm playing World of Warcraft, since I have a computer in my room, I've actually been contributing to the site more than I used to because I wasn't able to access it.
He's got a
No
This
doubt.
is true.
No
This
doubt.
is true.
Good job, Travis.
No, we're not. I'm just
whatever.
bucking around. But what I want to talk about is the fact that you're a crack addict already. Because
A little bit.
yes.
Wait, so wait, have you maxed out your character yet?
No,
Okay.
I have a level 55 rogue.
Holy shit.
This is from a previous.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do that in that amount of time.
I was about to just quit
No,
gaming
I-
altogether because
Woo! Okay, so I mean,
slight
I
panic.
played about a year ago and my computer broke, so I couldn't play anymore, and I just
Oh,
revived
okay.
that account.
that's nothing, man. I used to play, which is funny because it ties into the same
Yeah,
topic.
I've only played about a day worth of playing so far.
Okay.
It's still a little bad, but whatever.
Which is what we wanted to leads me to my topic, which is addictiveness in games. What I want to know is, are you addicted, or do you find yourself getting addicted?
I don't think I am yet. I'm still at that stage where I'm
Wait, first, let's just define what is addiction.
where you
Don't
get
sleep.
invited to a party and you don't go because you'd rather play World of Warcraft and do a raid.
Or you get invited to do a podcast, but you'd rather stay home and play World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You get
When
to
you
why
start
am I going
avoiding
home
like
early?
social situations and things that you normally would enjoy doing,
And you're just like, not
and
so
you're
much.
like, look, when you start lying to your friends about not being able to go places because you have to play World of Warcraft, that's when you know you have a problem.
It's things like that, or eating dinner in your room, stuff like that.
Eating in your room. See, that's more understandable. About skipping friends and stuff like that, I don't think I've ever...
Well, I'm saying that there's levels. Eating dinner in your room because you would rather keep playing and eat, rather than just go sit for 10 minutes and eat outside.
Yeah.
Buying a gun
very
just in case
which
the
I've
character
already...
dies.
What?
There's been people that have killed... No, there was a guy that killed himself because...
It's not hardcore.
That's an EverQuest.
That's hardcore addiction.
They have hardcore mode in EverQuest? Because
EverQuest is hardcore mode.
The game that I was addicted to for years was Diablo 2. Well, and before that...
Which made your top 5
yeah.
games of all time I saw on Thrift today.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always been on my top 10.
Of course, Diablo 2's full hackers.
Well, Diablo 2 had a mode called Hardcore where, if you died once in the game, it's fucking easy to die.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of lag could kill you. And
it was like level 99.
Yeah, you had to start all over again. All the
level
equipment that the character
99.
had.
You go and watch the thing, like level 99.
Yeah.
Die.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a deceased list on the top rankings. They have everybody ranked, and then they have the ones who've been deceased, who've been killed recently.
Which in a way that's really cool, and in another way it's really not cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
So one of the things I want to tie this into. Well, first, any examples of
games that we've been addicted to.
Games that you've been addicted to.
I want to make a quick note. Sonic the Hedgehog in cartoon form is really lame.
Sonic the Hedgehog in any form is lame, right?
Bullshit.
No.
Anything other than Sega Genesis is lame. When you look at the Sega Genesis, it looks pretty bad. But anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Anything I've been addicted to. Well, I mean, you could call when I'm playing something like a new Final Fantasy, I'm addicted because I just.
But okay,
but
that doesn't mean. But I'm talking about, and you're going to sleep thinking about that game. You're at work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Every minute you're at work, you're thinking about the
game.
You wake up thinking about the game. You start skipping class.
When I first played, I've never gotten to a point where I started skipping class. But Final Fantasy IX, when I first played that.
Please, I skipped class for stupid shit. What do you mean you've never skipped class?
No, I've never skipped class to play a game. Believe it or not.
So, in other words, Nick loves class more than he loves games.
In other words,
shut up, you son of a
Nick
bitch.
is a nerd. The Teen Wolf is a nerd.
Teen Wolf.
He's the Teen Wolf of the mathletes, not the Teen Wolf of the basketball team.
That's horrible.
Stop. Okay. We're gonna end Teen Wolf here tonight.
Fine. I'll just say this.
Look at this, man.
Oh god damn.
No, I already pointed it out.
They're gonna draw that all back on the picture.
That's great. In terms of
That's how you grow on the facial.
Lustrous, man.
I was gonna say something, but then I was like,
Alright.
Wherever Rampo received a timeout, what the fuck did you do?
Oh no. Careful, maybe you should okay, he posted
Oh, by the way, whoever's sending me messages on Xbox Live, I think it was Rammer Pro. That's not me. It's my brother. He's not gonna play with you. What World of Warcraft.
I'm too busy playing Warcraft.
Call of Duty 4.
I see.
Well,
I'm just saying,
you're not addicted to anything?
in terms of being addicted, I've never really been on a serious, to a serious point. I've maybe been on one of the lower levels.
Because your game's
He would see dinosaurs in the clouds when he was a young child.
I've tried. I have actually.
Dinosaurs. That cloud looks like Stegosaurus.
Oh shit! What are you talking?
I want to stab you.
Oh no! Is that a Turok reference? What the hell?
Well, come on, addicted. I mean, have you ever played online? I think having a game be online is a pretty key component to it, but not always.
I have
Sometimes single
online,
player.
it doesn't end. When the game ends, that's when it kind of ends addictive.
I've tried the three heavy hitting addictive games. I've tried World of Warcraft. I didn't even get my character to level 10 before I lost interest, basically. I tried Final Fantasy 12.
Friends. The big thing is making friends and having.
I know. I like that aspect. I could definitely see myself getting into it, but I just get tired after a while.
Friends in real life.
Knowing that
you play with me?
I can't play nearly as much as some of these people are playing.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Surpass me a lot faster than I can.
But that's why it's addictive, because you think you have to be on all the time, otherwise you're not going to be able to keep up.
And that doesn't usually hold my interest.
Okay, well, sometimes there are single player games that do it. I've had it happen to me before.
Okay, definitely.
Morrowind, that was the game where first time I didn't catch, second time I didn't catch, third time I didn't catch, and then after that, the fourth time I tried the game, it was 10 hours every fucking day. It's ridiculous. What's the last game you sat down and you played for 10 hours? And we're holy shit. You know? I've been playing for 10 hours.
To be honest, I've never really played a game for 10 hours straight.
What's the longest you've ever played a game? If you've never played a game for 10 hours,
I played 7.
Come on, next week, Nick. 10 hours marathon. What can you beat?
No, I just get to the point where my ass hurts and I have to move.
No,
I mean,
I've played minutes. That's fine. But
I've played.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about you get up, you make yourself a meal, you run to Taco Bell or whatever, but you come back to play the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that before, but to be honest, I don't remember what.
Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7 was my first real in-depth game that I ever really.
Which I'm thinking about doing a run through, by the way.
Ooh, good luck. I'm afraid to go back afraid it might fuck up some memories or something.
Well, I've never beaten it, so I don't have any memories.
Oh, really?
So I can just go ahead.
Holy
I never got
balls.
past the first disc.
Really?
Holy balls.
You know, Irish guys, right?
Good job, asshole.
I played Final Fantasy 11 as well, and I actually got to level like 23 or so in that, and I loved it.
Okay.
But it's just that same exact thing. I know.
I think you're just afraid to admit it. You played. Come on, Final Fantasy 11. You had to have been addicted to that.
I was.
I hate that game.
Yeah, I was. For
You weren't answering phone calls
for like a month. But I lost. I eventually got to the point where. Like,
No. I'm not saying like it doesn't have to last forever. But like,
I think he needs to try to get his other mouth.
It's such a commitment. Don't
involved.
say that, David. She's gonna take that seriously.
No, because then you guys.
She should play games.
If she hears the word Michelle, she's gonna freak out.
come on.
Anyways.
Well, real quick, what about you, David?
Luminous. Played so Luminous. It sucked, man. I'd be asleep and just kind of. I could tell too when I was sleeping.
What happened to DDR?
I was kind of like, oh crap.
Yeah, when you can't get the shit out of your head.
No,
you're
it's
close
all-
your eyes
and you see the arrow coming down.
Same thing with DDR. It just you're trying to get the piece to move in your mind, but you can't get it to move. You can't even sleep right.
You're fucking right about Luminous, because that's the kind of thing. It's like, oh, I'll play a little Luminous for bed, and like 2 hours later, I'm like,
Yeah.
gotta get the next skin. I gotta get the next
Same
skin.
thing with me in Advance Wars, dude.
Yeah.
I stayed up like 4 o'clock in the morning. Just because I was like, oh, finish one. I'll just start the next battle and see.
One more battle, right?
See, and then you're like, oh, god damn it.
Okay, I'm already halfway through. Let's just do it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
No kidding, dude. A couple times I just was playing, all of a sudden, like, the sun would be coming up. I'm like,
Dude, there's been plenty of games where I've had that where I've gone to sleep and I've been thinking about it when I sleep, when I wake up, when I'm in school and shit. But they're just the type of games I usually play are games that, like Travis said, end after a while. Like they're not.
So you can't really keep.
Have you ever checked out a
book
book to read up more on a game? Like, not a video game, but like.
Missed.
Like.
Wait, what?
Not about a game, though. Like, let's say you're playing Turok. And like, I go to a large library and check out a book about dinosaurs.
No, never done that.
You know, a big sign for me. Like,
I've considered reading the Mass Effect novels. Does that count?
No.
Like, you mean trying to?
But so that's just you being like a geek.
No,
or something. That's not like addiction. That's just.
Are you talking about trying to?
I gotta get into the Mass Effect lore.
Well, I'm just trying to understand this question. I don't know. I don't understand the question because.
I
I mean, fair enough. I mean,
That would be the same thing as that would make me a nerd if I freaking went.
No, it's like doing more
Turok.
research. It's like, oh, God of War was awesome. I'm gonna go find out what the name of all the Greek
We'll look up my
gods
mythology.
are.
Okay.
Well, Hamilton or whoever that wrote that.
I want to touch on my theory real quick, and then I think I have 3 or 4, and then I want to ask like the big question because it's kind of an interesting one, at least in regards.
Do it.
Diablo 2, crack addict. Final Fantasy Tactics, of course. I could play battles, and I could. You know how you get into a battle in Tactics, and you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna get like 30 more JP, job points, and get this skill. And you're like, oh, but if I just get 100 more, I can get this next skill. And then all of a sudden, you're in there, you're like trying to get thousands and thousands of job class points, over and over again.
I just realized that. Sorry, I have been addicted to a game. Like I've said this before on the podcast, but there was a time in my life where I beat Ocarina of Time every single weekend. For about
I thought about that
for about a
for sure.
year. Like, well, not every single
Shut
weekend.
up.
No. I mean, it got to a point where it wasn't every single weekend, but for about 6 or 7 weeks in a row, I played it every weekend, and then I played it at least once a month after that. Like, me and my friend would just get together and we'd play it all night long until we beat it. And I've beaten that game at least 20 times, 20
Really?
times. Yeah, dude, I played that. I got to the point where I could beat that. I don't remember how many hours, but I was addicted to that game. I loved that game, and I still do. So.
He'll choke. He'll choke. You don't have to worry about that.
All I'm gonna say is bring it.
Bring it.
No, bring it.
The elder.
I know.
It's already been brought.
It's already been brought in, okay?
Oh my god. All right. So yes, I have
The
the
worst.
game. Oh god.
The Elder Scrolls series. Elder Scrolls series has always been bad for me because it's always like one more quest. Let's see what this next guild quest is. That kind of thing.
What item will I get when I
Yeah,
finish
exactly. What item? Oh, I got all these items. I better go sell them. Oh, now that I sell them, well, let me just hit this one more dungeon. It's that kind of thing. But the worst one was for years, for like 5, 6, 7 years, off and on. I played like a text-based MUD, one of those. Yeah. Online multiplayer. It's like a text MMO, and I was so cracked addicted to that.
You never say the name.
Oh, it was called Chaos. It was originally called like Chaos Lord. But then they changed it to Chaos.
You traded tactics for characters.
I tried to get into my.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. That's one of my shameful secrets. I think I brought up. I traded one of my copies of Final Fantasy Tactics. It wasn't my original copy for a character in the game, but it was like
really badass text.
And it's funny because the guy I traded to, like the week later, that's when the greatest hits version came out, and the price on Tactics dropped like crazy. So it was just fucking random. I had no idea what was gonna happen, but it was funny. But in that game, I was so addicted to it, and I was so into the game where like I wouldn't make a new character before doing like 2 weeks of research. And I go on and I'd be talking, asking people questions, going around, trying to find every little detail out about the class. And people get so fucking pissed at me. They're like, God damn it, just make a fucking character. Quit asking so many fucking questions. I was notorious about this. Because I had to have the absolute perfect setup and like best everybody in every little setup because you could control like 3 characters and I had to have them work together. But anyways, that's not the point. What I wanted to ask in this topic is, do y'all like being addicted to a game? Because I love finding a game that I'm absolutely fucking addicted to.
That's what you need to find when you find a game. Not to the point where you're like avoiding your friends and shit, but if you're not addicted to it, you're really, really, really not
enjoying it as much. Yeah. I mean, the sign of addiction is a sign of you really, really do enjoy that fucking game.
Like, yeah, I mean, to me, there's getting to a point where you're... What?
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, just getting to a point where you think about a game a lot, maybe not being like crazy addicted like crack.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
crack. No, that's my whole point, though. Are you addicted? Like, let's say you get addicted to not addicted to coffee, but like, let's say you have to have a coffee every morning.
Yeah.
Is it because you like the coffee, the taste of the coffee, or is it because there's caffeine in it?
I mean, but see, I don't think a video game addiction is like a chemical addiction.
Yeah.
So, no, some people get addicted to that feeling where you're like, oh, I killed something.
I'm addicted to Dr. Pepper, and I'm addicted to it because I love the taste.
You're addicted to Dr.
Love the taste.
I
love the taste.
He loves the taste.
Dude, freaking. One day, I think you know
Michael
the
J.
greatest
Fox
thing.
really likes Dr. Pepper. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
I think
I saw it on the
this.
wiki.
White guys like Dr. Pepper, right?
No, but
Well, that is fucking true.
If one day that happens and Dr. Pepper calls Nick and says, "Hey, we want to sponsor you," dude, I will laugh my ass off. It'll be the greatest thing in the world.
We should.
I want to see Nick on a Dr. Pepper.
I actually brought a Dr. Pepper with me tonight, and I was rushing to my car, left it in my car. I was going to put it on the table and spin it.
But product placement now, great.
No, but like seriously, like freaking GTA 4, I can see myself getting into it.
Addiction, though.
No, dude. When Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, like me and my friend Joel played like all the time, every weekend. I mean, we weren't like addicted, but like
every weekend for a month,
we'd
and then after that, every month you beat it.
No, but like we'd hang out. That's a game that really doesn't. You can do it. You can just fuck around for hours, and like we'd go out, we'd hang out outside, do whatever, go to movies, come back, but we're hanging out at night. We'd be sitting there playing GTA 4 or GTA 3 for like
DDR
hours.
I forgot to tell you, DDR was.
DDR. See, that's the kind of game because
I went, dude. My first year after college, that summer, I went every day for the entire summer. Sometimes I went twice a day. I spent so much money getting good at that game, or getting better.
Same for me in Tekken. I can honestly say I was probably like really addicted to Tekken Tag Tournament in the arcade, where every single
it got to a point where if you didn't go, you kind of felt like something was wrong with you.
Hey, by the way, do we need bunk? Do you want bunk?
Yeah. We might need. I'll get bunk.
I don't think I've had anything other than World of Warcraft and maybe DDR to really be addicted to yet.
It's
like I've gotten into.
You're still young, Travis.
I know. That's why I'm not worried about it.
Just you're still young.
Well, what I want to know is like, it seems like as of lately I haven't really been addicted to anything.
Well, the same thing. You keep calling me a gamer Grinch because I haven't been getting excited.
I haven't been addicted.
I mean, do you think it's like an age thing?
Well, I mean, like, can I talk about that just makes me like worry a little bit. Like maybe we've just been playing so many games. Sooner or later, like when you start a game and when you've been playing for so long, there's definitely a difference of what you've seen and what you've experienced versus what you haven't seen. Yeah. So when you start off, everything's fresh, everything's new. But when you get to a point where you play,
I think the things you look for and the things that excite you change over time.
Your standards are going up or raising,
or not just, or they're changing. I mean, the standards are changing. What you look for in a game is changing. I think as you get busier, you type play. I mean, like back in the day, it doesn't matter what JRPG came out. I was into it. I got it. I loved it. And nowadays, unless it's really kind of mind-blowing in certain ways, I kind of don't even give it. I mean, it won't hold my interest, and that's why late in the PS2 period and like nowadays, I have so many unbeaten like RPGs. Is
that something you're worried about?
It's not something I'm worried about. I think it's just something has to really wow me to get me to play it like in that genre nowadays, and
that's how I started off.
Or just be really refreshing.
I mean, for me, there's been a lot of games I've played recently that I've liked, I've enjoyed, but they weren't amazing. Turok, Dark Sector. I mean, they're okay. They're fun to play through, but after I finish them, I'm not.
It's a lot better than we are, huh?
Well, it's very fun.
You have to suck it up.
You suck it up and finish the game.
I mean,
Wait,
I don't.
what was the last game you finished and you didn't finish?
No, you know one thing I
Lost.
noticed. One thing I noticed that he didn't enjoy.
There.
He really hated that Army of Two demo, and I was happy. I was like, wow. I mean, like fucking Nick doesn't like something. Now I can gauge like his. I could say, okay, he likes this stuff. He doesn't like this stuff. Before it was like,
See, the game.
it was all honestly. It was like, what shit? What don't you like?
No,
I don't
there
know
are
how
some
to judge your.
There are games that I think some people are just way too harsh on. Personally, I mean, Turok, not the greatest game, but it's playable. It's solid. It's probably too short, and there's a few flaws with it, but it's not a horrible, horrible game.
Yeah.
And I can still enjoy playing through it, but I don't love it. I mean, the next thing I'm probably going to love is probably GTA 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, things like that. But I still play different things to keep me interested.
I can't do that because I want to play a game to be wowed and to be really drawn.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want to sit down and kind of push myself to play a game just because I want to have fun with it.
But
then again,
I'll go do
mind,
something
worth
else
your
or
money.
play a game I know is great.
I know, but to me, there's games that come out that I still want to try and get a little bit of enjoyment out, even if they're not going to be like amazing.
Well, what
Condemned 2, I didn't think it was going to be that great, but I had a blast.
Yeah, no, I mean, fair enough.
So
before I don't know what Travis. What do you have to do? I mean, do you have to go pretty soon, or because I don't know, like
10
okay,
minutes?
2 minutes.
Oh.
Can we start up the next discussion topic?
Nah, well, I mean, let's go back and talk about. Well,
Whatever, just go.
okay, let's talk about the next. So this discussion topic was brought up by. Do you remember who it was? Like last week?
Gemini or
To
Reagan?
be honest, I think it was Gemini. Let me see if I remember
Gemini. Somebody asked us a question in the last episode about RPGs, and they wanted to know our opinions on Japanese RPGs versus
Western RPGs.
Western RPGs. And
Let me go in the chat see if someone can.
it's cool. I mean, don't worry
The
about it.
difference being main difference being like Final Fantasy versus like
Mass
Elder
Effect.
Scrolls.
Yeah, I mean, Japanese
All the
developed RPGs, which you typically
Yeah,
get
we
from Square
kinda-
Enix, and Namco has some, and Konami has some,
We
whatever.
formed it to what Americans.
Which I did some research on.
And then there's a lot of European and American developers who make a specific type of like role playing game that are very much different than Japanese RPGs.
More
I guess.
action based.
Yeah, well,
Most
see,
cases. In most cases.
First of all, let's talk about the differences. And
yeah.
talk about which one
Real
we
quick, let's
prefer.
touch on the differences. What do you? think?
Well, I did some research on it. I mean, these are to be honest.
The research,
No,
man.
I
Slaving away in the
To
library.
be honest, most of the RPGs I end up playing are Japanese RPGs. I don't play many Western ones, but I guess Western ones being games like Elder Scrolls, Diablo. Was
Yeah,
Western,
absolutely.
Right? Baldur's Gate,
Mhm.
the BioWare games, obviously, Mass Effects, KOTOR.
Baldur's Gate.
What? Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate was BioWare. I tried to be honest, I never played Baldur's
Bethesda.
Gate.
There's also you
Bethesda.
got old Black Isle games like Fallout.
But Japanese RPGs, in terms of, they tend to really remain very traditional in terms of their story. They're always going to have the same kind of good versus evil, same cliche,
Hero guy.
girl,
Well, it's the same way.
female-looking hero.
I think one thing you think, one thing you, I think
different set of
I think
cliches.
one thing you have to point out about Japanese RPGs, they always focus on characters that are already made, and that
Exactly.
you don't actually physically, like a lot of the
Yeah,
Western
there's
RPGs.
not much customization.
There's
in
a lot of
Japanese
customization and trying to like
yeah.
make your own character and design your face and
Yeah, it's true.
You
Make
mean,
it-
you mean
make
Western
it-
RPG? I mean,
In
Western
Western
Eastern RPG. Western, yeah, sorry, Western RPG.
It's basically the difference between the amount of freedom that you have in creating your character and what that character does in the game versus you just sort of playing a story as a main character and the story's already written and the character's already written and you're just sort of experiencing it. They really are like very, very much different genres when you break them down. I mean, to look at something like Final Fantasy, 10 or whatever versus something like an Elder Scrolls game, it's so. I mean, they're so. They're so unlike each other. You might as well just say like.
At the same time, in the Western RPGs, everything is already laid out. There's only one set course for everything. It's
You mean
just
Eastern RPG? You mean Japanese RPG?
no
Japanese
Western.
RPGs.
No Western.
No, Western tends to be a lot more open-ended.
No, it's open-ended, but it's still there.
They have like a main quest. is what
They have a main quest, but that's not the main focus. They want you to they want you to branch out and level up your characters and explore and do stuff like that, which is fine. Like even if you look at Mass Effect, which has a solid story there, they still encourage you to go out and visit all these different planets and customize your character, decide if it's male or
But you
female,
can
stuff
still
like
do
that.
that.
They even give you the choice of obviously who you want to bone. But
in many Western
Many
RPGs,
choices.
in many Western RPGs, you've been seeing this growing trend, and like all Western games, really, of like, oh, do you want to play this character like in a good way or an evil way, and that's definitely like you're pretty much seeing every like other
And the only time you
Western
see that in
developed
Japanese
game
is
nowadays.
when they like let you say one or two things, and you always get the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's directed. Like the story's written. I mean, if they want a character to change from good to evil, they'll have it pre-written where he'll start off good and then he'll become evil in like a big twist, or he'll start off evil and then he'll do something good in a big twist. It's rarely your choice. One of the. Yeah, I really like the sense of freedom, but I also like the presentation of like a lot of Japanese RPGs. And one of my favorite developers. One of my favorite developers was like Matsuno, the guy who does like Final Fantasy Tactics and like Final Fantasy 12. And before that, when he was at Quest, he did the Tactics Ogre series and Ogre Battle series. And in that game, you had this huge sense of freedom where, like in Tactics Ogre, you had battles where like just like Final Fantasy Tactics, but then you have a story sequence and like you always have like a choice, like do you want to kill these villagers for like the sake of the this cause, or do you not want to? And you can be like, okay, I'll do it. And then all of a sudden, like a couple of your characters in your party might say, well, that was a fucking dick thing to do. Now we're gonna kill you, or we're not gonna we're gonna leave your party, or that kind of thing. And it also had cool options, like whether based on the kind of decisions you made, certain classes became like unlockable, like more evil classes.
They don't do that too much with RPGs now.
Yeah, I know, and it sucks. I mean, you still see it in Western RPGs.
We were talking earlier because of Eris, like them killing off like a main character that you actually didn't, or like characters leaving because of choices you make. I want to see that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that's traditionally a Western thing, and that's like the Baldur's Gate series was always like that. Based on your alignment, you could only recruit certain characters, and there'd be points where like somebody said, you know what, I fucking had enough with your shit, and they'll just turn on you right then and there because they don't like the decisions you've been making. And that's the kind of stuff in Western RPGs that I really like, that sense of freedom, and just stuff like in Elder Scrolls where you're like, you know what, just go do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
The fact that like the only thing keeping you from owning this house is that you haven't yet killed the guy who lives there, or you haven't broken in yet. It's that kind of stuff which you don't see in.
Can you buy the house from him?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's the kind of thing where you can legitimately buy a house, or you can.
But his house.
No, you can't.
Well, you can't buy every house, but
there's one house.
Are we talking about Oblivion right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls series like all together. But then there's Japanese RPGs that have things that Western RPGs don't. The cinematic presentation and polish that they have to a story, it's a lot more directed, and therefore it makes it more, interesting to follow along with. I mean, Oblivion, it's fun just fucking around, but like I couldn't give two shits about whatever the hell's going on in the main quest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I think we kind of
Wait, hold on. This one's for you, Nick.
That's one of the reasons that I don't think I can stick with Oblivion long enough, because I've tried to start Oblivion several times, and I just keep getting bored of it. I love the open-ended freedom and stuff, but the fact that the story is just basically not there,
But it's always there.
It's there, but the fact that you can beat the game, 15 minutes if you want to?
Yeah, well,
is that a rumor, or is that
you beat it in 15 minutes?
There's videos of somebody from beginning to end, the sewers beating Oblivion in 15 minutes.
You necessarily
like sewers to credits.
Huh?
So
there's Morrowind in 7 minutes. I shit you not.
With an RPG,
which is like conceptually that's fucking cool because these are the longest games like fucking ever, single player games ever, and you could beat them in minutes because of like. And Morrowind is like it's like go here, buy this like jump scroll, like make this spell, get this piece of equipment and just fucking fly across the world, That's basically how you're doing it.
So why haven't we started to see blends of these two? Like, what if we had like a?
Well, we have. I mean, if you look at BioWare. They've started going a direction that's like a more cinematic RPG. Like look at Mass Effect.
I know, but they really implemented like those two together well, but it ended up shortening the experience.
It's shortening it.
But why can't we have?
There's a lot of Japanese RPGs nowadays that are just that do this thing where they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna have a 70-hour game, but that's because 30 hours of it you're gonna be grinding, in a dungeon that's repetitive, that's not as fun anymore. I mean, and this is the question I want to get to. I mean, where are like each of them in terms of the industry? I mean, is one getting stale? Is one keeping it fresh? Is one getting excited? I mean,
well, I think Japanese RPGs are kind of getting
a little bit.
No, right? A lot of people, not just Japanese RPGs, but also development Japanese games in general. A lot of people have been complaining lately that Japanese are just getting stale and not doing anything. They kind of it's partly tradition also because they like to hold on to like what's they like the Dragon Quest, like the last Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest 8.
I haven't seen a Japanese RPG hold my interest. Since
but you know how Japanese RPGs are changing, and they have changed over.
I play that, but it didn't.
Oh,
So I didn't think it to be.
that was definitely.
I didn't find it to be like I have to go out and buy this right now, and I haven't had that since like Final Fantasy, I guess 12. But that's because it's Final Fantasy.
But Japanese RPGs have been changing over like the past decade, the past 5 years or whatever.
The reason-
But like you used to see all these traditional turn-based Japanese RPGs. Now more than half of the ones that come out, they have these like huge. I mean, like with the exception of stuff like Dragon Quest VIII or Lost Odyssey that tries to be traditional, you see more and more action RPGs where you go into combat, like a game like Kingdom Hearts, which is freaking nearly an action game altogether, or just a game like Tales of Symphonia or Star Ocean, which have really, really heavy and in-depth action RPG battle sequences, which I think giving that character that much interaction in battle is traditionally more of like a Western RPG thing. So although you see Western RPGs becoming more cinematic and more polished like a Japanese RPG, I think it's kind of the other way around too, where you see Japanese RPGs going the other way. It's just the presentation and story sometimes can be just a little too fucking cliche. Where the Tales series, for example, has a great battle system, but like it's like every other game that comes out and it's just like the same fucking type of characters
That's
and
why
the same
Dragon didn't hold
cliches.
my interest. Although I kind
Well,
of,
it's not really a game to hold your interest.
Right.
I was so excited about Blue Dragon when it was coming out. Me and David were both excited.
I was
about
only
it.
excited because you could change it to Japanese with English subtitles.
See,
You do it
that-
French too.
See, that
That's
kind of
another
thing-
series that's traditionally still. I mean, though I
That
mean,
kind of thing doesn't excite me at all, to be honest.
Okay.
Whether I can have Japanese voice
Because
acting.
I know that people are going to say, "Oh, David, you're just arguing for JRPGs just because you're a Japanophile and stuff." But
which I mean is kind of true, but
it is true. It's very, very true. But I'm more attracted to that sort of art style and that sort
I'm the
of.
same way.
So why don't we just
more attracted to anime characters.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
So why don't
I don't like anime characters in a game. I'm not a big fan of the Tales series because they're anime characters.
You mean all the cutscenes are anime, or you mean like
the characters are anime.
Okay.
Like I want mature characters that don't look like a cartoon that I can
You know,
just
the
watch.
guy characters that look real feminine.
did you
and
hear
have, like,
about-
really-
yeah?
I heard that.
like Kane.
Wait, what?
That's Lost Odyssey's main character.
Oh, yeah, that's the
The guy that Nick hates,
Yeah, he looks
loves to hate.
He looks like a.
But
freaking
what
girl.
about the style that they used in Final Fantasy 12?
I don't like Final Fantasy 12.
No, but I'm talking
I
about the style of the characters.
No.
They are more mature. I mean,
The thing
because
is-
they're not super deformed. You have characters like Bosch and
But-
Balthier, which just look like
The
normal
problem with
people.
that kind of goes away from the Final Fantasy.
No,
Feel.
12
It goes away from the feel, but it's that more
You're
mature,
talking about
less
9, aren't
anime
you?
look.
12 was the first like
Well, 9 and 7
Yeah,
12.
and 10.
like he's talking about. Final Fantasy used to be this whole like super deformed kind of character,
Yeah, other than
which is
8,
why I
where they were
love 9.
freakishly
But then again, I
weird.
mean, I like how what they've done.
Like
with
12 was the first Final Fantasy game that I have actually sat down and tried to play. I can't stand the turn-based stuff anymore, man. I haven't touched the turn-based.
I
That's
find
another
it really
example of a-
refreshing
of a-
to go back
of a
to
Japanese
turn-based. I find it really
I'm
refreshing.
kind of agree. I mean,
I
I
haven't-
like.
I don't mind turn-based, but as long as they do something to make the combat deep and interesting. Stuff like Blue Dragon didn't really have
They
it.
tried.
You know?
They tried.
Lost
it
Odyssey does
failed.
something where you
No,
can...
Lost Odyssey, but it's also
Yeah.
very much traditional.
I remember
Just like
6
Dragon
was
Quest.
great.
traditional, but they
Six-
put in some new...
Inputting like blitz combinations in 6 and stuff, that was like one of my favorite things.
But I'm excited about Final Fantasy 13 because I was really proud with what like they did with 12 because it was very much a Western. I mean, the combat it had problems with it, but it's so. I mean, that's one of the things I respect about Final Fantasy. They're gonna fucking turn the game upside down and like give you something like that was completely different than the one prior to
I'm
it.
not happy they're doing that. I always looked on Final Fantasy because I knew it was going to be the same, and I could go to the next game and see a completely different storyline, but be able to play it the same way. Now
It's like you're the
an
same
MMO.
feel.
If I want to play an MMO, I'll go online and play an MMO.
But
That's
ever
all I'm
since
doing.
Final Fantasy 3, I mean, every Final Fantasy has had even if they were still turn-based, has had a dramatically different system in terms of the way you like develop skills or
Yeah, okay,
or
that's true,
you know. I mean, just like every single one, it was very
but
much
then,
different.
You know, that's a big switch going from that to you can run around while you're fighting.
Yeah.
Which is again is
I
like
think that's their kind of way of maybe trying to. Maybe they saw that.
Trying to
well, it started with 11, and 11 was
well, 11's an MMO.
I think, to be honest, I think
but it's
that
also
kind
like
of
very
battle
much
system,
it feels like a Western MMO.
that kind of battle system is really appeals more to I think American audiences, and I think that maybe that's part of the reason why they're doing this switch.
I mean, I
But
don't
they never had
prefer that battle
fan
system. I mean,
base in America.
Well, people it started to wane. I mean, as gaming became more popular, more and more people got hooked on things like Halo and freaking.
well, that's
44.
it is because Final Fantasy is more popular over here than it is in Japan, really, because
Same with everything else they make.
because
That's mainstream.
I mean, especially nowadays, they just want to play Dynasty Warriors and Monster Hunter. Do you believe that the PSP last week like doubled the sales of like everything else just because they released a fucking Monster Hunter game. It's insane. It's just like they'll have these certain series that they just latch onto and they absolutely love, and I don't get it. But
Gundam.
But even before when Final Fantasy was big, it was never as big as Dragon Quest.
Die. I can't believe they're still making animes for Gundam.
Oh man, alienated everybody in Japan.
But I like the good
American white man.
What's the last Western RPG that you've seen with like a turn-based Japanese style battle system?
Final Fantasy X.
Western.
Western
RPG.
RPG. Has there ever been one?
I'm sure there has.
Well, I'm sure there has. I'm just saying, it's like that's like
do it right.
It'd probably be a cheap imitation though. Like Japan just does it better, to be honest.
Let's break this down. It's going to be for the PS2.
Well, first of all, let's go. What do each one of us prefer in terms of Japanese or? I know what you're going to say.
I think it just depends on what for me. What we do know what David's going to say. He's going to say Japanese. So let's move on. What I'm going to say is that
even though I don't play RPGs that much, anyways.
Yeah, which is surprising. because when I started playing games, I thought RPG was going to be the thing for me.
So would you prefer Fable or Final Fantasy?
Fable 2?
Fable.
Fable
2's not.
Fable in general.
Fable 1 versus
whatever. Fable.
what do you prefer more, Final Fantasy X or Fable 1?
I am a little bit excited about Fable 2.
What? Okay, first of all, what is Fable classified as? Is it an Eastern or Western?
That's definitely
It's Western. What do you mean?
Because Lionhead Studios is in freaking
Europe, yeah.
Europe.
Yeah,
Western.
that's the West.
That's the way.
Is that still considered West?
Yeah. America's not the.
You do know that there's a lot of like
It's kinda
RPGs that we just mentioned here and that were made in Europe, right?
Which one do you think?
Like a lot of stuff, like
Really?
yeah.
Like, nothing he can come up with right now.
Well, I mean, all the Blizzard's game that isn't Blizzard originally from like Europe,
No.
or not Blizzard, but
Blizzard's here in...
Bethesda.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
You're the Bethesda whore.
BioWare's Canadian. Fuck.
BioWare's Canadian. Well, Canadians and Europeans, I just always
Same
lump them
thing.
together.
Whatever.
They're not from America!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
America. Okay.
Are you asking me? It depends on me for like, here's the thing, I mean, I like Western RPGs, but, you know, there's like maybe 8 out of 10 games on like my top 10 list are Japanese games. And some of my favorite RPGs are Japanese RPGs. I think it just depends on the quality. I think nowadays we're seeing more, like just in the past few years, we're seeing more come out of, you know, Western, you know, studios in terms of like RPG development. But, you know, 10 years ago it was the opposite for me. Because whatever, I didn't have a PC and Western RPGs weren't big on console. So it just depends. So equal. I don't prefer either. Like right now, Western.
Well, to me, the only real Western RPG that I've played and enjoyed, or I'm going to group together the BioWare games because they're the only ones I really thoroughly enjoyed. I've tried Oblivion, but I just can't seem to stick with it. And I think that's because, like I said, I prefer a more linear experience. I think Japanese RPGs probably do it for me better, but whatever.
I think I agree more with Brad, where I just can't really, favor one of the two because I always have different feelings.
I think we need to see more Western RPGs.
It's based.
I think Western RPGs are doing great.
It's based more on what comes out of the game, not so much the play style that you put to Japanese or the Western. Because I might prefer a really mature story, and I might not be able to find that in Western at that time, or I might prefer really kiddie animations where I would want to go to Japanese. Where I'd want, swords and a princess that's, I don't know.
I mean,
maiden distress.
Yeah. I mean, also we don't see a ton on consoles. I mean, we really don't.
I kind of want to see somebody who's only played Western and then try to go play Japanese. Because the thing is,
but
that's
PC guys.
what
Typical
everyone
PC
did.
guys.
because because all of us when we started playing games, we've always been exposed to that, and that's all it's been.
Well,
now Western, you're kind of.
I started off Japanese. I never played any Western.
Exactly,
And
but you're more accepting towards Western stuff. But the thing is, for both of you guys,
studios.
For both of these guys, you're both saying, "Oh, I like both." I wonder if somebody who just played Western would be like, "Oh no, I want to pick Western."
To be honest, a lot of people probably don't even know the difference.
Probably. Probably just like RPG.
It's a big difference.
Pretty dramatic.
The thing is, I don't think you notice a difference if you don't sit down and think about it. And then when you think about it, you're like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
The only difference I really see is action and turn-based.
Combat.
And then in Japanese usually have actual cinematics and Westerns don't.
That's
bugs the hell out of me.
another thing.
Cinematics for.
I have to have cinematics.
I love cinematics. See, I like Mass Effect, but seeing just the characters, the way I always see them, it's not very exciting.
Yeah, but the cool thing was that even when the cutscene, or even when characters were talking, it had that
So
real cinematic feel.
this will go on my wish list. I need Itagaki to make
That's why I love Lost
Japanese RPG, and maybe that'll give me.
Which is probably the one thing that's going to give you play on Lost Odyssey.
But you typically don't like appreciate.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, what's the last? I know you like Itagaki, and I know you like boobs, and I know you like attractive chicks.
I'm just kidding about
But what's the last Itagaki game that really you enjoyed?
I never liked it. I never
Except
liked
for Super
Itagaki.
Volleyball 1, right?
You gotta go?
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Travis,
Travis.
good to see you. Thanks for chiming in. What were you playing recently?
World of Warcraft.
So we'll see you.
I want to see you on Wednesday. On the second one.
Well, way back Wednesday. What are you playing on way back Wednesday?
I think right now it's gonna be Star Fox 64 and Golden Axe.
What are you thinking about? The church lady?
The frog, man.
Is anyone gonna be
The
here?
frog.
today?
Wait, what?
Is any of y'all gonna be here?
I might be.
Because I'm gonna play
Not
Golden
night.
Axe and I want to play by myself.
I won't be here to
You're
that.
gonna what?
Golden Axe? It's like Streets of
Nick,
Rage.
you should come and play Golden Axe with him.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
If you can, it's fine. I'll play by
Well,
myself.
send me your schedule. We'll set up next week.
Cool. Later, Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
All right. Well, with that said, I guess we should
Get into the real meat of the
the
show.
meat of the
Actually,
show.
I think that
We're gonna hop back to
What have we been playing?
what we've been playing impressions, and how would you like to start, Nick? Wait. I'm just kidding.
What?
Go ahead.
Wait, we started with me. Is that your consensus? Holy God.
Go ahead.
For guys, an N64 game.
What have you been playing, Nick?
Well, I was gonna be playing freaking Jade Empire yesterday, but because I was gonna finally start it because that's the first game I want to actually knock off my laundry list.
Hey, Western
I need to make a
RPG.
laundry list. Huh?
Hey, Western RPGs about Chinese culture.
Yes,
It's weird.
Yes, very true. But I love it. You know played? Okay.
Hey, I played through about half of them.
I love Jade Empire. I got about halfway through it and never finished it. So, but I didn't.
Combat's a little lacking, but
I didn't get to start it because of unforeseen circumstances. So the only thing I've really been playing the past week since our last podcast has been more Final Fantasy Crisis Core. I'm beginning to understand the DMW system, which is the slot system. I'm beginning.
I remember when you came over and you told
DMW.
Brad, like, hey, I got the DMW system done, and he just laughed. He's like, you don't understand it. Nobody understands.
No, I don't. I didn't. Did I just say that I have it down? I said I'm starting.
You said it when you came over that day. You said you had it down. You're like, I got that down. You got the shit down.
you don't have shit down.
I didn't say I had shit down.
Well, you brought your own controller?
Yeah.
God, that's the most beautiful controller ever. Hold that up to the camera. Show people that beautiful.
I'm a
controller.
big fan of it too.
How's your nub?
By the way, if you're not watching live and you're listening to the podcast, he held up a PlayStation 2 DualShock controller.
Bullshit.
The most beautiful controller.
Most lame.
He held up a red
unoriginal-
Nintendo 64
Red
controller.
64 controller.
Yeah, let's not.
Which is arguably the best controller out there.
That's why I love Nintendo. Every time something new. It's beautiful.
Oh man.
Every time.
God, I love this kid, dude.
Oh God in heaven.
If that was the future of our like,
Would you like any dick if they said they liked something that you like?
he knows what he's
Well,
talking
but
about.
what if some rapist came
What
up to you
I'm
like,
talking
dude,
about.
I really like Nintendo. You'd be like, yes, you can rape me anytime.
What? I think that was
You can't call the DualShock 2 an original just because it's a continuation of a controller that was already fantastic, the DualShock 1.
You
Right?
idiot. That's not what the argument is.
I'm just saying, it's
I did not mean to start the controller argument now.
Yeah.
those are refinement and improvement.
Let me
this argument
take back that
before.
comment.
We've had this argument before, Brad.
I'm
Please,
taking back that
as
comment.
host, I beg you, please
You can okay,
get control of this show.
Okay.
Get control
You
of
can
this
love
show.
the 64 controller, but I would not let you shit on the PlayStation
I
controller.
didn't say anything about the DualShock.
Holy God.
He said DualShock. I said I like the 64 controller. and I
David,
said
we should do a top
It's his
five.
show.
We should do a top
It's his
five
show. It's his show.
controllers
it's his
in the
show.
future. In the future, top 5 controllers.
We should definitely.
I wonder if we could come up with 5.
No, not controllers. Gaming peripherals.
Peripherals.
Peripherals. That's good. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Because David can't think of 5 Nintendo controllers.
Oh my
I
God.
can.
Oh.
David.
I'm waiting for this guy to get control of his show.
Why are you telling him to stop? What's going on, Nick?
Because you're sitting here arguing about controllers and I'm trying to give impressions.
It's a video game podcast.
Okay. We're doing our impressions now. We're not talking about controllers. God damn,
I
Travis.
think that was like the first 3 shows Brad and I did. We were arguing about the
Controller?
PS64 versus the PS2.
So nobody download those shows.
Alright, 1 in chat if you're a 64 controller fan.
No.
2 in chat if you're a 3... okay, just go ahead. What
Oh
are
my
you
God.
playing, Nick?
I've been playing Crisis Core.
Wait, what did you say? One if you're a 64 controller?
Holy shit, Dave.
That's right, because it's number one, baby.
Shut the fuck up.
Holy shit, Dave.
All right, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core.
He mastered the
I did not master the
WMD system.
I did not master the slot machine system. I'm saying I'm beginning to understand it. It's making more sense to me now, but it's still...
You got no... Is that the whole wheel thing?
Yes, it's constantly spinning during the battle.
Yes.
If it happens to spin...
It's obnoxious.
I didn't have to play
I know, I didn't say I liked it, I just said I'm beginning to understand it.
I didn't have to play the game, and I was beginning to understand it. It's a wheel with the things spin around and stop at a slot machine.
If they spin and the right and the left one match characters, it goes to a modulating mode, which it zooms in on the screen and it spins again in the middle one. If the middle one matches, then it spins again for a power surge, and then whatever numbers those come up with determine whether you get like MP cost is 0, AP cost is 0. If you get 3 7s in a row, your character levels
But
up.
it keeps going, right?
It's always spinning when you're in battle. So, and also, to be honest, I haven't figured out how it determines if you're going to summon something or not, which pisses me off that you can't summon whenever you want. It's random as well, so you got to kind of get lucky with that too. The summon spells, I got to say, are magnificent in that game.
Just summon spells.
He's talking about the look.
The look of the summon spells, magnificent.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, it's beautiful.
Love it.
Then again, I haven't seen any since I got my first summon because I haven't had luck yet.
But you're understanding the system.
But I'm beginning to understand it, even though I hate it. Second complaint I have with the game is the fact that I'm playing it on normal mode. You played it in the hard mode, and playing it is really hard.
I started in hard mode, but I continued on normal.
Well, I'm playing it on normal, and I think they should have just named normal easy, which kind of sucks because there's no real normal mode. Because once you push that attack button, your character's going to attack no matter what. So you push X, he attacks. Push X, he attacks. So there's no like if you can
how it goes.
No, but if you can hit that button faster than the enemy can attack, you'll just keep hitting him until he dies.
Oh.
So he won't even be able to get a hit in. But the only challenge that comes in when you have multiple enemies attacking is while you're trying to attack someone else, they'll be attacking from behind. But if you have one character or one enemy you're attacking,
one-on-one,
then you just basically hit him until he dies. So so far there's no real.
So
challenge.
he just has that one slash.
No, but you can use that one slash and essentially kill anything. But I mean, and also not to mention if you happen to get lucky with the slot machine, you'll get like critical hit. You get like a quote, power surge.
But it's not rewarding. I mean, if you do well, if you bust out a limit break just because of a random slot machine, it's like it's randomness. You know,
no. Every time you go into that modulating mode and you have whatever character, if you get 3 in a row, or the 2 ends are matching.
And sometimes it randomly shows a cutscene.
I know.
I
don't get that.
Seriously, there's like a cutscene from like earlier in the game sometimes.
Clips of cutscenes.
Oh
yeah, actually you're right. It does.
Clips of cutscenes. And sometimes just screenshots. Here's 4 screenshots from the game.
I don't get that.
Now do your limit break. I shit you not.
The cutscenes are actually not cutscenes from early in the game. They're cutscenes from things that happened during the beginning of the game that you didn't get to see. So it's like trying to reveal. But they're randomly placed that make no sense. So those are unnecessary.
See, that's fine. You know how like weird stuff in Japanese culture and weird quirky stuff, but weird for the sake of being weird, or weird when you don't understand. It's fine. They can explain it at the end of the game. That's great.
Maybe they serve a purpose. We just don't understand.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We don't know. They have
Japanese love for slot machines, and pachinko machines, and that kind of shit. I mean, that's all it is. It really is all it is.
Overall, the battle system is not very rewarding.
You know why?
It can be fun.
Because it's too easy.
It is way too easy.
When I was playing on hard, it was fun as shit.
There's no...
It was tense, and I was on edge, and it was fun.
Maybe I should have played it on hard mode.
It's like what I said. I don't want to go to a boss fight, watch a 3-minute cutscene every time I die.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Here, I want to do this sometime. I want to make like a developer's guide.
Yeah.
Like, because this happened to me a couple times, like a developer's guide. So like, how do they miss certain things like that? Like, boss cutscenes.
Well, everybody has different ideas of what's good. And what's
No. That's not a good idea. Like, you should be, if you have to fight a boss multiple times because you can't beat it, that's something you should be able to skip.
That's what we. I want to do that next week. Top 5 notes to developers, like pet peeves that we want fixed in video games.
I already know one of mine. Can I say it from Last Hope?
Oh no.
Don't say it.
Oh, but you know what I'm talking about, right, Brad?
What?
Yeah, that's spoiler.
That's a good one. We'll do that next week.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. That's the official one?
Yes, that's going to be our official one. Good idea.
Nope.
As much as the battle system is not very rewarding, I'm having a blast with the game. I almost said addicted. I'm not addicted, but I'm playing the game, and I love I'm starting to have that nostalgic feeling from playing Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
And, I mean, the battle system, not doing it for me.
What do you mean? I mean, what, you
It's-
sound like you hate it.
No, I don't hate it. I mean, do I hate the battle system?
Yeah.
Nick doesn't hate anything.
I know, exactly. I mean,
No,
if
no,
you're saying you don't like it, this is supposed to be like, I don't hate.
It's very uninspired for a Final Fantasy game, and it's not. I mean, it's deep.
Have
but
you
it's almost deep.
played Kingdom Hearts 2? That was the shittiest battle system.
It's but it's
I've ever
almost
played
it's almost
an action RPG.
It's almost too deep for the sake of being deep, and
It's too deep. I heard the
Like-
materia is a lot of fun.
the materia fusion is cool because you can. But there's weird things like if you try and blend two, like all of a sudden. Sometimes you'll blend two together and come up with really cool materia.
Yeah.
Sometimes you blend two together and it will give you the same one of the materia you blended together.
The freedom of like making materia that you want is like really cool. It's like,
Yeah, and
it's
the
like
weird
spell
thing-
making in Oblivion.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. But like if you try and blend fire and ice, you get thunder.
Oh, okay, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So
But what would you get? Steam?
What? Oh, no.
Probably the Steam spell. There you go.
They could have come up with something a little more
Water?
than just giving you the third element. When you blend two other elements, you get a third one. Which
Oh,
is
well,
kinda-
how would you make thunder?
It's the
then? I wanna
circle of
know.
life.
What?
How would you get thunder then?
No, you can collect thunder.
Lightning.
You can get ice, fire, and thunder
Oh.
All right.
separately.
that's
But if you
moving
blend
on.
fire and ice, you just get another thunder.
So you're very positive about it because you like the nostalgia, you like the cutscenes, you like the story.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, cutscenes.
Cutscenes
There's one that's coming up for you if you haven't seen it already. That is amazing.
Okay.
You'll
So,
like it.
I've already met the underage youth.
I want to know.
Yes.
Would the perfect game for you be cutscene, couple button presses, cutscene?
No.
Presses?
Where are you getting that impression?
Here's what I
I'm
want to know.
saying I'm not very impressed with the battle system.
Here's what I want to know. Like, how come you prefer JRPGs to Western RPGs, and you love games with cutscenes? Why haven't you played the Xenosaga series?
I actually
That
have
game
started.
is you're playing a fucking anime series. That's
I know.
pretty much it.
I've played the first one and I liked it.
Wait, you beat the first one?
No, I didn't finish it. I like it.
That game starts out really
And
slow, so
one
you gotta
day,
play it for more than
one
a
day
story.
I'm gonna buy all three and I'm gonna start playing them. That's on my laundry list. I gotta add it to my laundry list.
Good luck.
But here's
No, because the second one, if
I
you're gonna buy all
know.
three, I mean, the second one's brutal sometimes.
I had a thought and you just made me lose it. I think.
Japanese language?
No, it's okay. Yeah, here's what I was gonna say. In terms of the battle system, you can have an action-based battle system,
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy 12, but still have it kind of turn-based, which would have made it a lot better because it would leave openings for your enemies to actually attack you and make it a little more challenging. With Crisis Core,
Well, is
it?
this just because it's on easy normal mode, or?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
If it was on hard mode, you
That
would
was
get
good.
your ass handed to you. What they needed something in between, and it's not there.
I know.
It's frustrating.
The normal mode is basically easy mode. But I mean, like
I wanna
Final
play hard
Fantasy
mode,
12.
It's not worth it.
Final Fantasy 12, it kind of masks a turn-based battle system in an action oriented because you're actually moving freely around the battle system, about the battlefield that you attack, and just kind of like it judges how much damage you do based on how close you are, stuff like that. But it's still turn-based, so you don't attack until your meter fills up.
Yeah.
So they still could have done that in Crisis Core and made it a little more challenging, or at least on the normal mode. Than
Well,
than
I
it is.
noticed
Right now,
this-
you attack, and then just go and then die. It's ridiculous.
Well, you couldn't have done that harder.
But when you have like 4 or 5 enemies around you, then you kind of get screwed. So I don't really know.
Wait, have
what
you
they
died
could've
in the
done.
game?
Yeah, but see that's the thing. The actual their health meter is kind of hard. Like you don't when you're doing the battle system, you're not paying enough attention to your battle. There's no like meter above your head or anything. until
Which
you-
I died like that.
I've died accidentally several times because I just wasn't paying attention. Being like, oh shit, I need
You
to
know what
cure.
they need to do? They need to do something where you get when you get low life, it starts beeping.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they
jeez. I swear to
Yeah,
God, like I wish that
anything.
never existed in the Zelda.
anything, even if
That's
your
why I
character's
brought
just
it
maybe
up.
flashing red with no sound, anything to indicate that you're getting low on
Yeah,
health.
like
I mean,
flashing is fine. Doing something visually on the screen, but
Audio-
annoying fucking
audio-
beeping.
Audio
Fuck
beeping
shit.
is not good. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, jeez. Fuck that. But
Okay, so Crisis Core.
I met
second
Eris.
moving on.
I met Eris
Yes.
last night.
Well, didn't you already mention this like 12 times before? You love Eris. You want to bang her.
I did not say that.
You want to buy flowers for
No.
her and
No,
decals for her.
But the moment when I met Eris, was the first real nostalgia.
I'm pretty sure
moment for
Zach
me.
is
And you will
Zach
see.
is her first.
I know. And, oh my god.
I'm
And you will
pretty sure.
see. You will see why I'm saying it's nostalgic when you
Oh
see
man,
when you see this scene.
Eris cuddle pillow.
Oh my god.
But what would the sexy side be? Oh, I know.
Oh,
Ah,
It's like, which side do I want?
oh my god. Oh, that is great. You crazy
Or you
bastard.
bear it on the other side.
Alright. That's all I'm going to say about Crisis Core because I'm only about 5 or 6 hours
Wait, the
in.
other side
Oh,
you can have a
God,
sword sticking through her.
What would
body.
happen?
David, shut up.
All right.
Yeah, what do you
I'm
play?
done for the rest of the night, dude. I'm just
Brad,
gonna be
what do you
thinking
play?
about this cuddle pillow.
No, let's go to David. What have you been playing before you?
I totally forgot last Sunday night,
Uh-huh.
turning Monday morning. I beat Metal Gear Solid on Metal Gear Solid 1.
Solid.
So cross that off my shameful secrets. No longer a shameful secret.
So what'd you think? Because
You can't play that game now.
sure you can.
You
I would play it right
you
now. And
cannot
still
play
would.
that game now. It's just too.
I mean, is it?
It's a great game, and I've always understood why it was great at its time, but first of all, dialogue way too lengthy, especially.
Oh
compared to
man.
online.
Oh. Don't
Okay,
talk about it.
but that's something that isn't like.
Gameplay wise, I understand.
I mean, no, but that's something that isn't like hard to see now because the game is old. I mean, that's just how Metal Gear Solid
You don't
is. That's
know
nothing to do
that-
with its age.
You don't know about long dialogue until you've seen Metal Gear Solid 2.
I'm trying to play.
I popped popcorn
Or
for the
3,
final
man.
for the final cinematic, and I sat there and I finished it. And I still had time.
Did it get worse than 3?
Yeah,
It's pretty bad. No, but see, I don't find it bad. It's just kind
It's
of
not bad. It's just how Metal Gear
No,
Solid
it's fine.
is.
The thing is, I liked it. I mean, if I didn't already understand what was going on, there's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo.
Yeah,
you know?
But that's what's kind of amazing. When that game came out, you didn't see games of that genre. You didn't see that genre really. But you didn't see games of that genre that were that heavy on story, that heavy on
The
character.
twist was great
because it was an action
There's
game.
multiple twists in
Yeah.
the game, and it's not even storyline twists. But I don't know if
And
you remember
that-
the ending. Can I
Yes.
spoil the ending?
I don't.
You can spoil the ending to Metal Gear
Spoilers.
Solid.
Future.
If you've never played Metal Gear Solid,
Like at the end, I forgot. Like he hints at the president being Big Boss. Is that what it is?
Big bosses.
you know.
Not Big Boss, like the third clone. I'm sorry, third clone. The third clone of Big Boss. There you go. That's what I meant. Big Boss was clone, Liquid, Solid, and then Solid.
Maybe you shouldn't talk about this until you played
Yeah.
all 3 of them.
This is what he says at the end of. Oh, because you don't want to accidentally spoil me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Don't
fine, don't
wait. Say,
The thing is, one cool thing is, I didn't know it was cool because Liquid Snake is supposed to be the stronger of the two
Mhm.
because he got all the
Yeah.
good traits, but the whole time he thought he didn't. He thought he was the weaker, and he thought he was the black sheep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so like he was all bitching about it the entire game.
Yeah, that was a really cool one.
I was like, oh, when he said
Metal
that.
Gear Solid, all 3 of them.
And it
so
also
far.
it hints also Ocelot is working with somebody else.
Yes, and all 3 of the games that so far all have the same number of twists and surprises and stuff like that throughout it. So that's
Same number. What do you
well, I mean,
counted
like you
them,
said,
or what?
there's multiple twists in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Like they consistently deliver that.
Yeah, like the
level.
whole. I knew about it, but the whole like DARPA chief Donald Anderson not being Donald Anderson.
What is great about the series that I don't know if you enjoyed about this one, because mechanically it is hard to go back to, but like in terms of like unique bosses, like epic like feeling bosses, I mean that never goes away.
See, maybe I'm not then, because that's the thing. A couple of the bosses I had hard times with, and
Because the game is functionally hard to play nowadays. I mean, but when you're playing Subsistence and you have that, you know, the improved camera and the improved engine, I mean, it's going to be great. It should be. I mean, it's not going to feel that old.
Solid is, the Liquid Snake was
And-
a punk, dude. You can learn. The thing is, use pattern recognition.
Yeah.
I eventually I learned all the
Japanese
patterns.
boss
and
fight.
You know,
Yeah, it's,
I can tell you how to beat, you know, Gray Fox. I can tell you how to beat.
but there's also multiple ways you can beat enemies, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's the coolest thing. Like some of the stuff you told me about in Metal Gear Solid 3,
In our
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
That's freaking amazing.
Metal
That
Gear
is
Solid
awesome.
3 was beautiful. I love
The
it.
greatest thing is there's probably a crap load of items that I could have got in this game and helped made it a lot easier for me, but
Yeah.
I just didn't get because I didn't find him or pass it, and it's still no problem. No problem. Still beat the game. No problem.
But
Yeah,
in terms
something else.
going back to the dialogue real quick and the cutscenes and the in-depth story, whatever. Be ready for 4 because 4 apparently couldn't even fit on one Blu-ray disc,
Which is great.
which is ridiculous. They had to cut out all the Japanese voice actors to make it fit on a disc.
But-
Shut the hell up.
They did. They had to cut out the entire.
Fine, no problem. I'll order the Japanese version.
They cut out Japanese dialogue?
They cut out the entire Japanese voice dialogue.
That's fine because the English voice acting in Metal Gear Solid has always been stellar, and you're not going to play through these Metal Gear Solid games and switch over to Japanese. I mean,
Yeah.
because of the voices you're going to
You
Well,
do
know.
not
that's
want to
true about
read.
that,
You
but-
do not want to read the
Metal
dialogue.
Gear? Come on, I mean,
Oh yeah, you don't want to read.
You do not want to read that.
That's true.
That'd be like reading a novel, and you don't want to do that.
but anyways, so anything else besides Metal Gear Solid?
I've been playing stuff on and off all week. I think there's something you want to talk about later. You were going to ask me about.
About what you've been playing?
About yesterday, last night article thing.
Oh yeah, that's part of our JTV section.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I've been playing a few games. It's funny because it seems like it's been a long time since our last show because the whole urban chaos thing and like all that stack of games I picked up, like that was since the last podcast. I haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot, so that's great.
And I don't want to go into too much detail because I had to pick up a lot. So I went across the street to Blockbuster and picked up. I'm just gonna pick up a stack of games because I haven't been knowing. I didn't know what to play, so I went and I picked up Urban Chaos, Dark Watch, The Suffering 2, which and I ended up getting the Warriors because Mortal Kombat Shadow Monks didn't work. And all of them, besides the Suffering, out of all of them, is the one I'm surprisingly least interested in, and that was the one I expected to be the most excited about because I thought it was going to be really fun to watch. I thought it was going to be scary.
The second one is inferior to the first one, and for several reasons. But the first one,
when you picked up the game,
the first Suffering, it was like one of the first survival horror games that I played that really just like knocked me, like surprised me, like knocked me on my feet. It was.
What are you talking about, PS3, Mike? I paid a combined total of $16. That's $4 a piece. I was far from ripped off. Or how much do you think I paid? You probably paid $50 for your little freaking PS3 games, or $60. How was Heavenly Sword when you beat it in one night? Huh, PS3, Mike?
Hey man, I'm sitting right here.
A combined $16, jerk. Oh,
combined.
So, yeah, dude, you don't know how many games that I paid full price for and beat them in less than a week.
Go for it, come on.
But I don't want to touch too much. Dark Watch, it's fun. It's Twitch-based shooting. I enjoy it. I mean, it's. I was surprising by just how much I enjoy just the Twitch,
which was developed by High Moon Studios, which is also working on the Bourne Conspiracy,
which was formerly Sammy Studios of America.
Yes, it was.
And when we were street repping for them, they were like, push Dark Watch. Go talk about Dark Watch. We want to talk about Dark Watch.
Well, you mean you, not me. And
oh yeah, me and some other people I knew. But yeah, that was interesting and.
I had a surprisingly good time with Dark Watch because when I first saw it.
Did you play through it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, right? It's just kind of mindless fun, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And I uploaded a new clip called the Vampiric Teabag.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, the multiplayer is a lot of fun in that game too.
I want to even try the multiplayer. Suffering, not so excited about. The Warriors, surprisingly good. I mean, it brings up a good, interesting point because people have always kind of bashed the Grand Theft Auto series for having like really weak combat. Just not having combat that's very fun, but like. It's very deep in the Warriors, and it's very fun to play. And like the highlight of the game for me is just like the really fun, deep brawling.
Maybe you should make that connection between GTA because.
Oh, because they're both developed by Rockstar.
Okay, there we go.
I mean,
no, it's fun.
I thought most people knew.
It's kind of weird just talking about Warriors, and then he starts talking about GTA.
Well, what's so deep about it? Like, what exactly happens?
Well, I mean, just
will that punch?
No. I mean, it's deep, like mechanically. Like when you grab a guy, there's like a ton of stuff you could do, and there's like utility to it also. I mean, you could get him on the ground, to kind of get him out of the way and kind of punch him that way. And like when he's on the ground, you can like pick him up. Like when he's on the ground, do something there, throw him at a guy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. And when you get surrounded, like because there's a lot of stuff where it's just like your gang, or it's like another gang. And it's a big ass fucking mosh brawl. I mean, you need to use the different things you can do in useful ways. I mean,
it's kind of like a wrestling game almost a little bit.
Yeah, it has. There are aspects to the combat that remind me of a wrestling game, as far as like the grapple system goes. But it's still like beating the shit out until they have no life left. And I just like how when you get into a brawl and like somebody comes up behind you and you just start like bam, bam, like the guy behind you and stuff. Yeah. It's just it's functionally in depth, and I'm just surprised by like how much I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I like how fast the character runs and how he can navigate the environment pretty quickly, which is another thing that is always kind of been kind of sluggish in Grand Theft Auto. So
yeah,
hopefully some of that translates to Grand Theft Auto 4. We'll see.
I've heard the combat in GTA 4 is actually quite an improvement over the older ones. Like this new GTA is supposed to be like.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about it too. I mean, it sounds interesting, but I guess it's gunplay they have to worry about.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've also been playing Urban Chaos.
For America
is a fantastic game. It's probably the most underrated game on this list, and it's probably the game that was like the least purchased and the least played on this list because not many people knew what it was. It came out very late in the Xbox life cycle and the PlayStation 2 life cycle.
Generic,
I mean, it looks generic, but when you start freaking telling firemen to like put out that fire and break down that door, because when he does, there's going to be some like fucking bloody masked like villains that you're gonna like. I mean, this is a juxtaposition of like, you know, these are the real heroes of America, and then like really, really bloody, violent, like horrific combat that is just so like visceral and fun to play. It's
unbelievable.
I mean,
it's like a guy shooting rockets at you and you're trying to block it with your shield.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, it's kinetic. I mean, I can't explain it. When you go up to a guy and you start bashing him into the ground or into a wall with your shield, it just feels great.
Isn't that police brutality? Police brutality.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why. I mean, you saw it right in that video when I was like knocking them out on the cells. I mean, I felt like I was smashing their hands against the bars, man. But it said like, you know, unauthorized force.
Unauthorized force. You're gonna get sued, Brad.
I like the taser too. But there was one clip where you're just sitting there shocking a guy, and she's like, "Ow, ow, ow, ow,"
shocking him in the bag. No, it's.
Oh my god!
It's a lot of fun.
Oh my god, you're a horse.
And there's some cool freedom. I mean, like you can choose to arrest people. But yeah. I've killed like every single person I've come across in that game. I just kill them all.
Is there a story in this game, or is it just like a?
There's a story. Yeah, haven't you seen the brilliant cutscenes? This game has some of the best graphics you'll ever see in the cutscenes. I'm not even going to spoil them, like explain to you why they're so great. But when you see them, like
they look
there's more realism in the cutscenes in this game than there is in like freaking Heavenly Soul.
They look like real people, dude.
Real people. They look like real people.
I know you're fucking right.
No, I swear to God. I swear to God.
This he showed me, dude. They
the woman you'll see.
They are Chris, the news reporter.
Yeah, the news reporter. It's like
I saw that.
What?
I saw that. I was watching the freaking broadcast.
You looked
fucking amazing graphics, huh?
I can't tell if you're fucking with me or not. So.
Oh my god. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
I don't even know.
It looks amazing, dude.
But
I don't even know.
It's like the tone of the game is so hilariously like you know, just balls to the walls, like just a mix of like you know, I don't know how this American thing started, but it's like you're gonna take the fireman and the policeman and you're gonna get your little riot shield and you're gonna go kick down these terrorists because they're fucking causing chaos in America.
In America,
you say it like George Bush.
And then it's just like horribly violent and just like pure like fun. I mean, just shooting guys are so satisfying and like I don't know why.
Explosions and the slow motion death.
The slow-mo, right? And then he'll fly back and then it's fucking great. And like one of my favorite parts about this game, and it might seem weird, is that when you get a headshot, you get a big thing that says headshot. And it feels so satisfying that when you're like bam, 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 and you're swarming with enemies and you're like headshot, headshot, headshot. It's just like, because the game gets really challenging and the checkpoints are very spread out, but you know that, like, you know, I'm going to be fucked here unless my game is on, unless I get these fucking headshots, unless I have America coursing through my veins, man.
So who developed this game, first of all?
I looked it up, but I can't remember. They developed some pretty shady games in the past.
Pretty shady games?
Shady games.
Did they play the one where you hunt down Osama bin Laden and he's the boss of the game?
No. It's not like... I don't know, but I highly recommend it. It doesn't cost much. It came out very late in the life cycle. Like, I mean, when I think the 360 was already out, maybe, or at least announced. I mean, or like Halo 2 was out. Yeah, I mean, it was a late Xbox game. And
Xbox exclusive?
It's on the PlayStation 2 as well.
What I thought. Okay.
But I mean, it's fun. And it's satisfying combat, and like the shield thing is actually pretty unique. I mean, it feels like Time Crisis. The fact that you can go behind your shield when you're taking a lot of fire to get some breathing room, you can reload behind your shield, come back up and bam, headshot, boom, headshot. Tase until
cheap though. Because your shield can never break.
I don't know. I mean, it definitely sustains a lot of damage.
So what happens if you run up to him in the shield and just bash him?
Well, you can do that. But you move really slowly when you have your shield, and they'll toss grenades behind you, and stuff.
So it's not like you're invincible behind the shield.
I was getting really frustrated when they were shooting rockets at me, because if they flew behind me or beside me, I was taking splash damage. So yeah, it's fun. The shield mechanic's fun. It's a really fun game, and well, I mean, that's kind of what's been occupying my time. I've been playing a little bit of Crisis Core. I haven't really played much more, just because I don't have much time for handhelds, and a little bit more Ninja Gaiden. Should I do like a couple minutes on Ninja Gaiden real quick, just to comment? Because nobody's really mentioned Ninja Gaiden.
Yes. I guess so.
I think the game, in terms of its presentation and story, and just like the areas that you're in, is pretty boring. because
it's like the one from the Xbox game.
It's the exact same areas from the Xbox game.
Same bosses, same guys.
Except it's even more repetitive.
When are they going to get... Is Ninja Gaiden 2 just going to be more of the same areas with clear graphics?
I don't know. I'm tired of certain things about Ninja Gaiden are so great. And you know what? It's like combat, and that's the same for this game, which I'm about to get to. But everything else around in the game is so like boring and like tired. Nobody cares about the Ninja Gaiden story. Nobody cares about the Ninja Gaiden characters, right?
Exactly what.
Nobody cares about the characters, but there's certain things that game does right, and that's what happens. That's what is right. No. See, nobody does care about her. You just like the way she looks.
I like Ayane.
You don't give two shits about her function in the story of Ninja Gaiden, dude.
She helps you.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, if
She throws a little tutorial like ninja stars at her.
In this one,
At him.
if Ninja Gaiden 2 has a decent story, I will play it. But I can guarantee
more importantly, how do the controls?
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, because like the Xbox version, this game, what it gets right is actually, I think it's the best implementation, better than Phantom Hourglass in terms of like typically like full 3D action game with like touchscreen controls. And I thought it was going to be a lot of scribbling, but it's really not. I mean, the thing is, you should probably play in hard mode because normal mode's a little easy and you can kind of get away with a little scribbling, but it's super careful because you take a lot of damage, especially when you get to bosses where like it's not just scribbling. He doesn't just throw out random moves when you tap an enemy. I mean when you slash an enemy, it's sort of like in Wind Waker where if you slash him, he'll do a slash. But if you slash down on an enemy, he'll do a down slash. Horizontal slash, he'll do a horizontal slash. If you tap an enemy, he'll throw his ninja stars. But the cool thing is, he still has combo strings. So if you want to do an Izuna drop, you got to go up to him. And you can start in a variety of ways. You can start with a horizontal slash or a down slash, but you do down slash. You do an up slash to juggle him. You do up again, and he'll jump up in there and do a drop or whatever. And he still has his stuff like flying swallow. You jump up into the air, and you do a horizontal slash on the enemy, and he'll do a flying swallow to him. Depending on where they are, is
there a problem with you like missing? Like if he's like because while he's in the air, it's hard to.
As long as you horizontal slash him, he'll hit the guy unless he's like moving too really fast. But the cool thing is, if you do a vertical slash down, it's intuitive. He'll do his little like drop, and it's just a lot of fun. And the cool thing is every single button, like everything's touchscreen control, like your movement and everything.
What's the other screen? What's the other screen used for?
Just side stuff. I mean, but it's not so much about the second screen, but like the perspective, because you do it book style. You can see more of like the 3D field because it's turned this way instead of kind of scrunched down horizontally. The only thing that sucks about that on the DS is there's a little bit of a glare when you do that, but.
From the other screen.
Yeah. It's the combat's a lot of fun, and like when you get to bosses, see regular enemies are kind of the areas feel kind of flat, but when you get to a boss, it's like full 3D. I mean, you're running around the enemy, you're jumping up, you're doing slashes, you're throwing stars, you're doing nimpo. It feels like a full complete 3D action game. Now I hear the main weakness about this game is it's really short, like 4 maybe 5 hours long.
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of God of War. It's a little bit longer, maybe like 6-7 hours, but it is a short game. But see, I'm excited about playing through the game on hard. I don't know if I should restart and play on hard because it could be kind of frustrating because it's tough. It's not easy. Some things are really easy, some things are hard, but I do recommend it.
Cool.
But that's kind of what we've been playing. We've already done our discussion topics for the day, so let's just move on to our community segment that we've.
Community.
Yeah, community segment because it's more than just JTV. We do more stuff.
Wait, was there a segment you wanted to come up? You were going to talk about?
No. Community's fine.
Community.
That's cool.
What was David's segment?
No, I thought you were going to go into other stuff. No, that's cool.
You sure?
As far as what we've been playing?
Okay.
No, that's cool. I could save it for next week. Give some more research on it before I say that.
Cool. So
sorry, that was
You're
weird.
confusing me.
Sorry, I just thought you mentioned something earlier.
I had a mention of it, but
okay, go ahead.
Well, it's an open podcast. If it's an interesting topic, we can talk about it. Our community segment, which is basically kind of focused on you guys. Well, what we've been doing, not you, but like
you
guys. What we've been doing in terms of our viewers, and what we've been doing in terms of our live broadcast, because that's a lot of our audience comes from our Justin.tv site, which if you go to, by the way, www.justin.tv/ spelled out 4Player podcast. That's a live feed. We broadcast pretty much every single day, and throughout the week we do certain events. And our most recent one was the Pikmin playthrough. And I wasn't here for that, and I haven't talked to David really much about it. So how did that go?
It was actually a lot of fun. I was worried because of the language. It wasn't me who played it, by the way.
Yeah, it was. a friend of yours?
It was David's Japanese
quote unquote aunt.
Did she fly back to Japan?
No, like you know how it is. It's like family, friends, or aunts, and they all call everybody aunt. You know, I don't know. Technically, we're all blood related somehow, right? But,
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know if she's actually near like 100% like my mom's sister's cousins, whatever.
She's Japanese. David's Chinese.
Yeah, but I've got.
And she's visiting from Japan.
She's visiting from Japan, yeah. So she was here.
And her claim to fame with Pikmin was
She loves Pikmin, and she played it quite
How long did?
quite skillfully. We started at 6. She finished at about 9:57.
Wow.
Beat the whole game
under
in
4
4
hours.
hours.
It was great because I came in.
And she took a couple. She took a couple breaks too. She took a couple smoke breaks.
That was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny because I came in cause I just got off work. I came in like 9:20. I got to see the very last stretch of it, and they were at the very, very, very end of day 5.
Yeah.
Or day 15. And the Pikmin were carrying the last.
I was
part.
trying to tell her. The thing is, I asked her how many. She said she had beaten in 14 days before, and I was like, "How many do you beat? Can you beat it?" She's like, "Probably 17. It'll probably take me a couple extra days because I haven't played recently." I was like, "Oh." And so it got to like 14. I was like, "Dude, you could do this in 15 days." And she's like, "No, it's impossible. It takes 2 days. 2 days for the last." I think what's maybe I'll explain it. Remind me to explain that point after the show. So it's the last boss, and she's fighting Emperor Bulbax. Or she clears it, and she gets Emperor Bulbax. I was like, "Dude, you have to have a day left. You can beat this." And she goes, No, I can't beat it. I was like, "No, you can use the bombs, and you can beat them." And she wouldn't believe me. And finally, she was like, "Okay," and she tried it, and she killed him in less than half a day.
Yeah.
And there's this. I'll put a video post up, and the video is of her trying to get the
last part back to the ship
and try to beat it in 15 days instead of having to wait for 16.
And it's funny, they were on the bridge, like you could see the ship right in front of them, and then all of a sudden it showed up at 9, 8, and she goes,
yeah,
we're like, "Oh no!"
all
David's all over here covered in space, like, "Oh my god!" And then
It's
she runs
funny,
over there. And she unloads a bunch more Pikmin to try and get them to go
Yeah,
faster.
so wait, don't save it. Let everybody have to get online to see it.
It was intense.
You should highlight out parts of the.
For all
I
I
will. No, I've made notes. I just didn't get a chance to highlight it all.
For all intents and purposes, she beat it in 15 days because technically, day 16 started and it was there and it's finished. So.
Damn it! I told you I wanted people to go on a site to go check out.
You know what that was going to end. People watched it. It was
cool.
Awesome. You gotta see it too. It was crazy.
But
so.
what my biggest thing is, one, I mean, she's obviously played the game a lot.
Yeah.
She there's stuff she knows. It's not like she memorized. This one takes. She's just like, I was like, "Oh, can't you do this? Oh, can you do this guy? She's like, no, I can't do that. You don't have this yet, or you have to wait till this yet, or I can't fight that guy, or I don't want to pick that thing up because I don't have enough Pikmin."
Yeah.
And there's just some stuff, and a lot of the thing is with her being like, I was surprised about this before we even started, was that she's an elderly lady, not old, but like, Pikmin is a game that requires a lot of like micromanagement and little stuff like that, and I'm surprised how,
strategically she was able to do all this.
Not just strategically. It's not like Mario Brothers where you just hold left and hit A all the time. You freaking have to run around.
It's a complex game.
She mastered camera controls. I mean, there's parts when she'd wait for a boss to attack and then she'd run in.
Does she play any other games?
No, I don't think so. I don't think she plays too much of anything else. I mean, I think she mentioned, people asked in chat whether she played Mario Brothers. And she says, "Yeah, I played Mario Brothers before, but it's not something like Pikmin. That's something like absolutely like engulfed her life. Like like she could just sit and I asked her, I was like, "Can you play Pikmin?" She was like, "Sure." That's like basically was like when I found out she played Pikmin, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, you want to play on the show?" She was like, "Yeah, sure, I love Pikmin. I'll play it." Like for me, I love Pikmin, but I don't want to like keep playing the same game over. But she like every time. I think the biggest thing though for me that I think that sets her apart from being a casual gamer and being like hardcore is like, and then this is the crazy thing too. I don't know if she knows, like in her mind, the processes of, hey, you know what? How do I get a better time? How do I get faster? The obvious stuff is there, but like on that last level, in her mind, she was like, I can only beat this in 2 days.
Yeah.
And so when I started pushing her, trying to say, hey, beat this, and you can beat Bulbax. You can actually beat this boss and get the piece back. If we didn't spend like 2 minutes sitting there debating on it, she would have beat it in 15 days, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until I started pushing her, and then she was like, oh, okay, and she tried it, and all of a sudden, here we are in a race with like, trying to beat it in 15 days. I told her, I told her, it's like, people on the internet can beat this in 9, She's like, 9? Really? Oh, I want to see video of that.
Yeah.
And so she, like, on the way home, we're sitting there talking about how she could beat it in 9 days and where she could cut time and, that kind of stuff like that. And where she could cut Pikmin deaths. Where I was asking her questions like, hey, I was like asking her.
Did you tell her that people play the game without losing any Pikmin?
I don't think people do that. I think it's possible. I still think it's possible, but I don't know if anybody's done it.
Oh, I thought that is.
I'm sure someone's done it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Not very many people, that's for sure.
The thing is, I mean, this is a great thing because there's a bunch of stuff. Some of her strategies are just hilarious. She'll intentionally like sacrifice Pikmin so that she won't lose more.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she'll grab bombs and just sacrifice Pikmin to get eaten, so that the bombs will kill the bad guys.
That's fucking smart.
Yeah, it's smart. And I was like, no, why do you do that? And she's like, it's much smarter. I lose 3 Pikmin now, and I save maybe 10, or 20 in the battle. I was like,
she's a utilitarian.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's cool. But I was like, man, it was
very interesting.
It's amazing, and she doesn't like Pikmin 2. And I exactly know why she doesn't like Pikmin 2.
Watch. I only have
because that guy's fucking useless. Ate all that damn carrots.
I'm actually gonna pick up Pikmin.
You should try it. It's one of my favorite.
I want to try it now too.
But
you never played Pikmin?
I just
to be honest,
that was one game I was addicted to. Man.
It's like an RTS for me.
I didn't put Pikmin down.
I might start Pikmin 2 actually first.
Don't do Pikmin.
I'm gonna buy both of them. But
the graphics are better and the cutscenes are better.
Don't do Pikmin 2.
Because I haven't heard. The only thing I've heard of
it's very much like the first one. I mean,
it's completely different game.
Oh my god. Okay.
Completely different. Game.
We'll talk about this.
Completely different game.
We'll talk about this later.
It's like Oblivion versus Final Fantasy VI. Completely.
It is. From all intents.
So which one's Final Fantasy VI?
Oh man. Okay.
You're so retarded.
So anyway,
bro, we had a lot of fun. I want to say thanks to everybody who showed up. Surprisingly, man, some people sat through the whole entire format.
Yeah.
The crappy thing, not the crappy thing, but the thing is, I started like audio and video and sound checks like at 5:10.
Yeah.
And people were showing up then. Sat the whole way through until the end of the show.
That's really cool. So thanks,
and,
guys.
Thanks a lot. Everybody was real nice to my aunt and.
Most importantly, we should probably thank your aunt for doing that.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
She's leaving for Japan tomorrow or this morning in about like probably 6 or 7 hours. So after the show, I'm gonna run over there and see her one last time, unfortunately. So
thank you for doing that. That was really cool. That was a 4-player podcast.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So
and just like our Pikmin event, we do a lot of other more organized events during the week. One thing that we've been doing the past couple of weeks has been Way Back Wednesday.
Which
And, this past Wednesday,
Travis
came over and he played through Sonic 2. I don't know if he was messing around with some other stuff, but I think people had a lot of fun with it. And I think you can expect more of that kind of stuff.
The first Way Back Wednesday we ever did was me and David.
Yeah.
Which
show
is back before
number 15.
Yeah, which is back before we did any of this broadcasting stuff. I wish we could have broadcast because we played freaking Rainbow Six for the N64.
We were playing Rainbow Six for the 360.
Which is, right around the time we were playing Vegas with a bunch of people from the store. And it was so funny watching us go back. And we even tried that.
No, you can see the result. Like, you can see where all the ideas came from. They have the same things. But it's just
But the game also changed very much over the years.
Yeah,
and we also played Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Oh my gosh. People I mentioned that game. I mentioned that in chat once, and people were like, "Oh my god, that's the greatest game." I was like, "Dude, you go play that game now."
I know. I had so many good memories of it. I think I ruined them.
Well, a lot of early 64 games and PlayStation games that tried to do 3D were like that. I mean, it's just
maybe we should redo that Way Back Wednesday one day. Just broadcast it.
You can't go back.
We did that stupid. You know what it was? What gang? Something gang.
The biker gang one?
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. Hood gang or something like that? The Mos Eisley chase or something like that?
Oh my god.
It's funny though because that was the game that made me want a 64. I wanted that more than Mario 64. I wanted that more than anything, and I was like so badly that Chris was like, Mom and Dad, give me.
Who's the main character of that game?
Who gives a shit?
Windar
or something
you forget?
I read the book and I can't remember the name.
Oh,
you read the book?
The book is good because the game is based on the book. The book is good.
Why are we talking about Shadows of the Empire?
Game based on the game.
I got a PlayStation because my parents couldn't find that game.
Dash Rendar. So maybe we could. By the way, when I probably sometime in May before I go to China, I'm going to do a Way Back Wednesday. I'm going to play all the way through Majora's Mask.
All the way through.
Majora's Mask?
In one sitting?
Oh, I need to finish that. Can I borrow your disc
Maybe a
again?
few smoke breaks. What?
Can I borrow your disc?
When you start
again?
taking
So I can
time
beat
off
Majora's
from work.
Mask. I'm halfway through that game. I've never
Yeah, that's
finished
fine.
So we do things like Way Back Wednesday and
actually, me and a couple friends are talking about it. We've been kind of neglecting the Japan cast stuff just because we were real busy with podcasts. But I've got a couple friends. They're going to start coming over and broadcasting that. And we found out a way to broadcast it in better quality. So we'll probably start doing that more.
That's www.justin.tv/4Player Japancast. It's one of our side projects
If you click the thing that says MySpace underneath the 4Player podcast thing,
the cleverly
brings
hidden
you there,
MySpace
so.
link, which is actually our Japan cast.
We need to put up a section on our forum for 4Player Japancast.
Sure.
All right, we'll fill that up tonight.
And all the Japanese related stuff can be in there.
And a couple people we're gonna start a couple new, like, I guess, at shows. Is that what we're calling Way Back Wednesdays?
Yeah, just events.
Yeah,
on Justin.tv.
There's a couple things. It's gonna be situated more around fighting games or stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
And we're gonna try to eventually finish Cthulhu, but
yeah, we'll finish Cthulhu.
But it's all dependent on the game.
Within the next 2 months, Nick will get over here enough times, and we'll
shut up.
And we'll finally beat Cthulhu. Maybe,
which, by the way, we've been playing, so we haven't really talked at all much about Cthulhu. So let's not get into anything major.
We're gonna talk more about it when we.
You wanna wait till we finish it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's wait till we finish.
I guarantee you we'll finish it in the next 2 sittings. We'll play through it. I think. Yeah. So we're about. What did someone say? We're about a third. You're like about a third way through the game.
So we're only about a third.
Yeah. So.
What?
We haven't played it that much.
Oh, okay. Because I've been sleeping half the time.
And the first victim using the weapon was Giant Spookman.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that clip, go to our blog.
The first guy, after all these hours, the first fucking dude he kills is the Giant Spookman. Motherfucker. He didn't even hesitate.
What's
He's
his
like,
name?
I got a gun! I'm gonna shoot him!
What was his name?
Giant Spookman? He had a name?
Giant Spookman.
That's cold, dude. You killed him, and you don't even remember his name. That's your cold-blooded killer.
By the way, guys,
cold-blooded killer.
Since it's our community section, let me take a quick.
He was cold-blooded.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Let me take
Nathan Birch.
Let me take this opportunity.
Nathan. His name is
Shut
Nathan.
up.
He had a name.
Okay, it was Nathan?
How did you find out his name?
He researched it like a
No,
nerd.
it's from the game when you played it.
Isn't that me?
People called him Nathan. They called him Nathan.
Let me take this opportunity real quick.
Tell me more about Nathan.
He was a man struck down in the prime of his life. Anyways.
A man who didn't want people snooping around.
He didn't want people snooping around.
Oh man, thank you.
He was just doing his job, Nick.
Just doing his job.
I know.
He wasn't evil like the other guys.
He put on his.
He was a policeman.
He put his pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else.
That fuck. 1 second, wait for it.
He didn't resort to violence when you first met him.
Yeah.
He simply said, "You're not supposed to be here. Get out."
Yeah. And
Quit snooping around. He didn't resort to violence, but no.
Yeah, he may have been snood or snide a couple times.
It wasn't until you started teabagging underage girls that the town started coming after you,
That is true. That is very true.
Good job, Nick.
But
and you shoot him in cold fucking blood.
Yes. Are you gonna play another clip or what? I laughed so hard when I watched that. So,
but on April 2nd. No, he should have put the date.
Yeah, at 11:15 p.m.
At 11:15 p.m. His life was ended.
Here it comes.
This is a moment of silence, guys, for the Giant Spookman.
Oh! Oh my God! You just killed the Giant Spookman.
Nick's all laughing.
It would no, dude. That video.
He may no longer be with us. He may no longer be with us today, but he will always remain alive in the hearts of those who loved him.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Wait, hold on a second. I got something to say. Are you playing it? That's brilliant.
That's great.
All right, so
Thanks a lot.
let me
Who
say
did you credit that to?
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones, thanks very much. If you
7964.
see him on the chat room,
Get him a
tell him thanks.
Pat him on the back.
Yeah, first of all, let me say thank you to everyone who sent all these bear fan arts and all these great things and stuff.
That's
It's
awesome,
great.
dude.
Which is I want to bring up. I mean, we set up the forum since our last podcast, and we kind of want to just plug it on the show for people who aren't at Justin.tv. We throw chat up in there a lot, but we know there's people out there who download our show. If you go to our main blog site at www.4playerpodcast.com, on the right we add a link to our forum, and thankfully, I mean, we've had a lot of people who've been willing to go and contribute and really like put some really awesome.
Really awesome
like effort into some of this stuff. Like there's a lot of great bear photoshops, like just some great stuff. And we just want to say that we appreciate it. We are officially going to be doing a contest pretty soon. We've already decided the prize. We just need to figure out what exactly it is that y'all have to do to win. It's not going to be anything too complicated. You don't have to be some great artist. All we're going to require is that you put a little effort into whatever it is.
Maybe a little creativity.
And you register for our site. So we'll keep you updated on that. Again, just check out our forum on the main blog site. There's a ton of funny ass shit going on in there right now. Some of that mindfuck thread will blow your mind.
The mindfuck stuff is really cool. So far we've got some really
we appreciate it, man. That's fun for us too. We get kind of like feedback, and we get to see stuff.
And not to mention, from now on, the viewer questions we answer on the show will be taken directly from our forum.
Yeah, which kind of leads me to the next part of this, and the final part of this this community discussion, which is where we take questions from the viewers, and we got a bunch. Did he type them out?
No, I printed them directly off the forum, which is how I'm going to do it every week now.
We're going over shameful secrets and stuff later.
Yeah, that's going to be after community.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
So, okay. Anyways.
We had no shameful secrets planned, but we can...
Oh, I mean like sweaty palms.
Yeah, sweaty palms.
Oh, just... Okay.
We're just gone.
Anyways, so first of all, before we do this real quick, every time we do a show, or right before every show, I'm going to post a link in the podcast discussion thread on the forum, where it's going to be, each thread is going to be a different podcast where you can leave questions that we'll possibly answer on the show. So let's go ahead and start on this week's. The first one comes from Gemini Dragon.
Oh, Gemini. I saw him the other night.
Yes, very much so.
You saw him? It was
yeah, I saw him. He was pretty badass. So basically, he says, I've been suffering from some cash flow problems, and I'm jonesing for some games. I have a 360, PS2, and GameCube. And are there any good bargain, $20 or less games that we would recommend he should pick up?
For which?
What's this? Perhaps some lesser known titles. PS2, 360, and GameCube. I compiled a list.
PS3, GameCube,
360,
and 360.
GameCube, PS3.
That's
PS3?
No, that's it. PS2, GameCube, and 360.
Gemini, are you in chat? What are? Just give us two of your favorite genres. That'll help us out a little bit.
I compiled.
He didn't say that.
No, he says perhaps some lesser known titles. I compiled a list. Not a lot of them are lesser known because the ones that are $20 that are worth picking up are usually greatest hits titles that have become more popular. Especially in the 360, there's not very many. If you haven't played Condemned, that's one of them. You can pick that up for
horror and action adventure.
Okay, cool. Prey for the Xbox 360
is
finally at a price point that is worth
like $10.
That is worth the life of the game. I paid $60 for it and beat it in 4 hours.
Yeah, if you download the demo, you can beat through a third of it.
Yeah. But at the price point it's at now, it's way below $20, and you can. I think it's at $10 actually at this point.
You can find it for under $10,
which is actually worth
one game that you probably don't give a rat's ass about. Viva Pinata.
Yeah,
Viva Pinata. Very underrated game. I mean, a lot of people kind of initially bashed it, but the people who've played it absolutely love it. So,
I also put Amp 3. I think it's a snowboarding game. I heard some pretty good things about it. Yeah,
that's just like really bizarre
and something that you probably won't play again. Anime-based shooter with the crappiest cover in the world. Vortex Cinco Norande. That's like $10.
More like a shoot 'em up, not a shooter.
Very true. Very true. I also put Battlefield Modern Combat is actually under $20 now, if you like, used of course. And this one didn't quite reach the $20 limit, but the Darkness is like $24 now, and that was definitely worth a playthrough if you're into
horror action. Chronicles of Riddick.
I really enjoyed playing through that.
Was it a Starbreeze?
Yeah.
Can y'all think of any other Xbox 360 games you might recommend?
Not 360.
There's not very many under.
There's a lot of really cheap. I mean, the original Oblivion, if you don't get the Game of the Year edition, it costs like nothing. And
Ghost Recon.
You must play
Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
That's like an online game, and I don't think a lot of people still play it.
Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter?
Yeah.
No, it's not an online game. I mean, you can play it online, but the single player is good too. It's under $20 now, used.
Hitman Blood Money, I think, got pretty low, and Fear is pretty low.
Fear is $24.99. used.
If you like action
In most
adventure and
places.
horror games, I mean, if you're supposed
That's
to
a
be
perfect
pretty good.
blend. It's a little bit over $20, but it's definitely worth it.
What about PS2 and GameCube? Those are kind of...
Main
those are harder to
big
find,
PS3
though,
or
right?
PS2?
PS2.
God of War is $20 if you haven't already picked that up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I really want to play through
Midnight
God of War
Club 2 is really, really, it's like $4.
What'd you get, 3?
Midnight Club 2, what about 3?
I never played 3. I had a blasty blast playing 3. Not to
A
mention,
blasty
and
blast.
not to mention, I think 3
Six?
is 3 under $20 now.
Yeah.
Okay,
3,
2 or
6,
3.
7.
One of the funnest multiplayer experiences.
Most fun.
One of the most fun multiplayer experiences I've had is playing multiplayer. Just where you drive around the map and you play tag with someone.
All right.
It's great. It's
All right,
fun.
Gemini, you've gotten way too many.
We should say 360. We should limit to 360. But TPS2, you could say Burnout. You could say tons of
Spider-Man
stuff.
2.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Spider-Man
So,
2 is surprisingly good.
All right, Jimmy, we've been too generous to
Hold
Gemini.
up.
He has a ton of...
GameCube.
GameCube.
Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, both
Wind
007
Waker.
games.
How about Eternal Darkness? You can get that for
Oh,
like-
Eternal Darkness, there
anything
you go.
made by Nintendo.
If you like horror games, try Eternal Darkness for...
Shoot, you can play Chibi Robo, golly.
So yeah, there's much
Whatever.
good stuff. Okay, so
I don't recommend Chibi Robo to you, by the way. Just
thank
if
you,
you're feeling crazy.
thank you, Gemini. And this is one that's been postponed for like 2 weeks from Sax, and David might be able
The
to.
Sax?
Yeah, by Sax.
SAX?
Yeah. Which, by the way, Sax, I love your avatar. It's awesome.
What's his avatar?
Sounds so like business. I love your avatar. By the way, I love your avatar. It's great.
Anyways, what are your views and thoughts on Little Big Planet? You kind of want to know that.
Me personally, or
All of us. I mean, it's kind of a title that I'm slowly catching on to. I don't think it's going to hit me until it's almost out.
You know, Little Big Planet's on my top 5 anticipated games for this year.
Get on mine as well.
When I first started looking at it, I was like, what is that? I didn't understand it, but now it's perfect.
Again, thanks, Brad. Brad's always pretty good about like finding stuff that I'll be interested in. Katamari, now Little Big Planet, so I owe Brad a lot of that. It looks great. The problem is, I kind of get frustrated with customizing and like building stuff, like because it depends on all about the interface and how easy it is to use and how. I could see my oops, I messed that one up, and then how do you undo that, or how do you know?
I'm sure they thought about that.
No, that's the thing is, but they could do it horribly or they could do it great. My biggest worry too, and this is what happened with Spore too. They had a great idea. I'm sure they were about to push it out, and I think they had another idea. We're like, hey, wait a minute. If we do this, it could be even bigger, and that's why we're not seeing like Spore. We've seen like pushed back indefinitely, and that's why Little Big Planet is supposed to be out. There's supposed to be a demo out like last winter. All of a sudden, we're not going to see it till the end of the year this year.
It's
And
September. That was pretty close to the end, I guess.
that's my biggest worry. Is just if they keep adding more stuff, you can always add more stuff. Where do you call?
But if they're already doing something good, then adding more stuff, if they've already got the core mechanic down, then adding more stuff isn't necessarily a bad thing. Adding more content is never really a bad thing. But what I've seen so far looks really, really cool.
It looks interesting. My biggest thing is I hope there's a good, not single player mechanic, but offline mechanic. I want there to be something to do offline.
Yeah, that's
first.
Well, I mean, what if you could, you could go online, download a lot of, these really cool levels that would just kind of blow your mind. Like, oh, I can't believe he thought of like doing something like that with this world and just playing them offline.
You're talking about just people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm just saying I don't want this to all based on like what people create.
But that's what this game is.
No, but like.
But there should be something to keep people who don't have either access to the internet or who want to play something.
But even the final levels in the game, like when the retail version gets released, is going to be a lot of it's going to be what people.
No. Fan created stuff is great, but they're going to have some sort of board where they pick the best fan thing.
Yeah.
Release, and I'll download those every week or whatever. Release it. But when I go home, when I get it the first day, I'm probably not even going to touch the creator. I want to be able to sit down and say, here, Nick, here, Brad.
Creator is what
Here,
excites me the most.
So you're going to try and play through the development.
Yeah, I want it to be kind of a mini not single player, but like offline experience first.
You want to? Well,
I think if you don't get into the creating aspect, unless you're playing with other people, it's probably not going to be too exciting.
And that's my worry. My worry is that I won't get it. Like even customizing, it's very, very hard for me to get into customizing stuff. Like Mass Effect, this opening of.
I could actually feel like I could probably
It's like
surprisingly get into the creation.
Yeah, because it looks easy and it looks fun, and just you could do stupid shit like like make a bear and like make them tumble around.
We should make a 4-player podcast level and put it on the.
Oh wow! You get chased by a bear.
Make a giant 4-player podcast. They got a 4-player symbol. They have to try and get around and shit.
I have. So Little Big Planet, we're all excited about it. We might have our worries.
I would pick it up probably, unless it gets horrible reviews, which I don't see happening.
That'd be really cool for us to be
I know you have questions, but first, somebody just sent me a question. It's actually Shuriken, because I guess Shuriken was already taken, so he had to get Shuriken. He says a question for Nick. For you. He says, what, do you want to read it? Read it out loud? Well, I'll read it to you. Why won't you let David and Brad borrow your game?
First of all, you put a thumbprint on my Dark Sector disc.
Me?
A thumbprint?
You put a thumbprint
He
on my
did.
Dark... Yes.
I didn't touch your damn dark.
It's a Blu-ray disc, right?
Yes.
That's because I love the way they feel on the bottom.
Yeah,
so smooth.
I've never touched it. I wouldn't know. But it's a tick I have.
What is the thumbprint gonna do?
I'm just fucking with you with a thumbprint thing. But here's the thing: I've let some of my good friends borrow my games, and I still haven't gotten it back, even though I remind them all the time.
What the fuck? There's no way we're gonna be able to
I
keep stuff and not give them back.
Good friends.
First of all,
what are we, Brad? Co-workers.
First of all,
people
we're
who
just co-workers.
We're just
he doesn't
people.
trust.
We're just people.
I'm
who
not gonna
does-
answer this fucking
We're just
question.
we're just people he does a podcast with.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, how about this? I never said I wouldn't let you borrow my games.
I remember one time. Do you know what is the most
But
disappointing?
he'll avoid the topic like till the end.
Do you know, one of the big
I'm very protective of my games.
one of the most.
You got,
But the thing is, David is very anal and protective about his games.
I know.
And if you can't trust anybody to like handle your games, it's like except when it's some sort of Western developed game, and David likes to throw it around like outside the case when it's some of my stuff. But whatever, that's a whole other topic. Like, oh, I don't give a shit if I put Brad's game just like disc out.
Okay, first of all, we've never been in a situation where you seriously sat down and said, Nick, we need to borrow this game.
Why do we have to
tell
have?
me, David.
Why do we have to have an intervention to borrow one of your games?
No, you said, hey, Nick, you said, hey, Nick, you think I can borrow that game for that? I'm like, oh, okay.
One of the most disappointing times I ever had.
Oh, God, what is it?
One of this.
Tell us about this, David.
Nick and I were working. I was getting off work. I got off work early. He had to close the store. And so I didn't have the
That
money.
was the game I just bought!
I didn't have enough money to afford it. I had to talk myself out of it.
Fucking...
It was Blue Dragon. It had Japanese voice language options. I had talked myself
And I
out
had
of
just purchased it, and he wanted to take it home, crack
I was
it
like,
for me
Nick,
and
can
play
I
it.
go home and I'm going to put it in. I'm going to play it for a little while, see if I really like it. If I really like it, somehow I'll get the money for it. And then I'll bring it back to you before you go home.
You mean before you even left?
He was at work. He couldn't play it.
Before you even left, though.
And I was going to bring it back to him.
He was going to bring it back to you before you even
No,
had
I
a
know
chance to
him.
go home and play
He
it.
wasn't going to bring it back. He was going to make me stop by and try and keep me here to do...
Regardless, it wasn't like I was basking it overnight. He was at work.
Son of a
There's
bitch.
nothing-
That's a different thing. You wanted to open my game that I just paid...
No,
$50.
everybody
in chat.
I said you could open it, and then I would go home and play it.
Everybody in chat is screaming for you to let us borrow Silent Hill 3.
I will let y'all borrow Silent Hill 3. But you know what? I kind of like to watch you play it, too. Because you know what? I haven't played it since it came out and I beat it. So
come over
I'm
more.
very protective of that game.
So come over.
Because not to mention...
Don't worry, Brad. I'm going to drive back to Houston. I'll make a...
My Silent Hill 3 is still in pristine condition. And finding a Silent Hill 3 that's still in pristine condition at a store is
doesn't have
so hard.
the soundtrack?
Yeah, I had the soundtrack.
I'm going to put a penis print on the disc.
My soundtrack has never been played, so how about that?
Well, you're an idiot, because it's a beautiful soundtrack.
Because mine's sealed.
What? You have the game and it's sealed? And why are you asking me to borrow mine?
It's in another city.
It's in Houston.
Have someone mail it to you, fucker.
Oh, so we have to have somebody spend money to mail us a sealed game because
you know what
Nick doesn't want to let it go.
Stuff? They bounce around, the disc gets unlodged, scratched up.
You can borrow my Silent Hill 3, okay?
We'll check in this time next week to see if it's happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
The viewers at home will be our.
That was sure.
Will be the ultimate judge. You can't lie to them.
Okay, definitely. All right. God damn you, Shuriken.
All right, let's.
What happens if right now you're going back to San Marcos?
No, I work with you tomorrow.
Oh shit! I was gonna say I'll drive home with you right now. Did you see that?
No, I haven't
You haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, that's right. You just walked in and we started the show.
That's pretty fucking good.
Freaking Kiwis made that. It's good.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. This question.
Did you notice you have bear slippers?
You see? I didn't see that. That's awesome.
That's pretty good. I mean, they did a surprisingly good job with the caricatures.
Caricatures. Okay. Next question is a question that you might dismiss as being kind of ridiculous, but it does need to be addressed by Koos. Earlier this week, someone from Microsoft mentioned could possibly be the final generation of video gaming. Do you guys think video games will start to die out in the next few years, or will gaming live on?
Wait, gaming? Or you mean like game in like hard disk format?
No, game. See, I don't know if that was just a misinterpretation of what he said or not.
If they're talking about gaming in general amongst like the whole industry, then that's the most.
The way he worded it is final generation of video gaming. If he actually
for Microsoft.
For Microsoft?
I don't know who said it. I don't know who
because
said
there's been rumors that Microsoft probably might get out of it because they haven't been turning profits and they keep getting fucking fucked in the ass about one thing after another. They finally pull a profit, then this thing with the 360s happens.
There's no way in hell
they're gonna turn a profit with Halo 3, and then now they're huge loss.
There is no way in hell video gaming is going to die out, and mainly because it's becoming.
Thanks for picking that question. Good job.
Oh no, you've heard me a smartass.
Well, I mean that's the thing. I mean, you faithful gamers. I mean, you tell me you'll stop playing video games if you can't purchase media in a retailer like in hard disk format.
That's just me.
And you're like, and you're the same way with Nintendo and like consoles, right? So.
But when I said that, here's the thing. I said the same thing about I said I never wanted to switch from VHS before CDs came out.
Really?
It's really retarded.
You had a VHS collection that you never let your friends borrow?
I actually did.
You know what's disappointing? I had all the I had all the WrestleManias on VHS, and then I had to go.
Here's the thing:
if they release them on DVD,
if they release games in some kind of like, even if it's not a CD, but if they have where you can maybe put it on a memory stick or some whatever, if you can have multiple games on a hard drive, whatever. And you can carry the hard drive around, I'll keep playing games. But
I don't see myself getting out of games ever.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
I was young when I made that statement, Brad, too.
To be honest,
that was back in my Nintendo days. So
that's something I'm going to address if the problem ever arises. First of all, let's just leave it at this: video gaming is not going to die. It's because the only thing that's outselling video games right now in terms of the entertainment industry is surprisingly the porn industry. I don't know.
So let's take one more question.
It's kind of ridiculous. Is that video games is already outsold?
So do you know what that shows? That shows how much leeway kids have in like porn. That's targeted at a very specific audience. You don't have like 12-year-olds asking their moms to go buy those games. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if even with games, I think could be a lot broader audience. And if that's the case, then you can tell who's buying the games.
Definitely.
One more question.
This one was just going to be from Ryan, actually. How'd you guys...
Ryan, the maker of the greatest avatar ever.
Which I sent two avatar requests. I sent 2 avatar requests to Ryan. I hope he's going to get those. That's pretty cool. Anyways, he wants to know, this is kind of for us, just in terms of what we do here. How do we start doing this, like in terms of the actual podcast and broadcast?
Really?
It's been a while, yeah, because people who are watching us now on JTV have never really... They weren't with us when we started, so...
It's funny. I actually wrote this up once. Big old epic story.
Yeah, which we might still post, right? In the blog, possibly.
Probably.
But just
it's a little over.
Quick summary of what happened.
Of how we met or how we started the podcast?
How we started the podcast, because that was YouTube originally.
I met Brad. Here's the thing. The story is, I met Brad in an arcade. Like, we knew each other from middle school? Middle school. We had art class together in like 6th grade middle school, and he was pretty good. But
did we?
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this on the last show?
Probably.
We talked about it was a different question.
Anyways, he was like and somehow we ended up running each other into each other at UT, and he was playing Tekken and I'd be playing DDR.
That's the story we heard. But
we'd always try to get each other to play the games, and then how it happened was we'd both go back to Houston for break. And I'd go walk into a video game store to buy something, and this asshole would be sitting there playing stuff, talking about games. And so I started talking to him about what he liked and what he wanted to play. And we thought, what can we do, that involves games, And he would come over and, because I didn't know him that well, he started to come over and, asking about, he tried to teach me Tekken and tried to get me to play Tekken. And I was like, I'd be kind of shy about it. And then finally... After hanging out and
it sounds kind of gay.
Yeah, we got shy at first, and also then we started playing hands while playing Tekken.
Anyways, how did it start? One day we were like, dude, we gotta do something. What do you want to do? He's like, I don't know. We could talk about Zelda because we both beat Twilight Princess. That's actually our first show. The first show we played was
we started writing stuff before we.
Which is funny because I listened to the first podcast a couple days ago and I already heard it, the Twilight Princess special, and it made me want to go play Twilight Princess again.
Yeah, we talked about Twilight Princess. He played it on the Wii version. I played on the Wii version. He didn't have a Wii, so he had to play it on GameCube. And we just sat down and talked about the differences. Well, with the mic on.
Y'all just hunkered down. There was no intro or anything, no structure. It was just like, let's talk about games.
Yeah.
This will turn out really cool.
Yeah, and so a year later, well, a couple of months later,
15 shows later, you asked me if I'd be interested, and you did a.
Yeah.
We were working actually.
What?
You asked if I wanted to do a. What was it?
It was really rough too. It was really bad. I just turned on the mic, and we were sitting there helping customers and talking about like what we've been playing. And so I was like, "So you've been playing, Nick?" And he was blah blah blah. And oh, excuse me, ma'am, would you like fries with that? And she said, "Sure."
Shut up.
And that was it.
And Travis came over one day, yada yada yada. 4Player podcast.
And eventually went, yeah. So then we ran into.
That was pretty bad. I'm sorry about that.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we got to move on because
We'll
Yeah,
post
that's true.
we'll post the full history. At some
Yeah,
point.
I wrote out history. It's kind of like epic, but so I'm trying to.
Lord of the Rings quality. Okay, quickly. So what's our last?
hey, calm down. We got it here. We got it here, Nick.
We got.
Wow, I can't believe it, dude.
No, I mean it's fine. We're gonna wrap up. We're gonna talk about. I think these kind of tie together. One, our sweaty palms, and two, the hype machine stuff we're excited about. So
Wish list.
well, no, I mean not this. If you
I
have
can
something,
pick
it's
one
just-
real quick. I can real
Yeah, go
quick.
ahead.
Shameful secret. A couple years back on Xbox, I started playing Serious Sam. And just talking about like you were talking about mindless like
Really?
dark watch.
Did you enjoy that?
I really enjoyed Serious Sam. I played through a crap load of that game.
I was thinking about
All it is backpedal, blah blah blah, backpedal, blah blah blah, and I enjoyed it, and I always wanted to go play it and finish it. Just never really wanted to.
Another series like that
but by
was
the way,
Painkiller on the Xbox, which I hear
I
similar
played
to
with
that.
Serious Samantha, by the way, not Serious
Oh,
Sam.
jeez. Okay, so you want to see another Serious Sam?
No, Shameful Secret is like actually
Oh, Shameful
good.
Secret.
I kinda
Guilty
wanna
pleasure.
play it. Yeah, guilty pleasure. Oh, guilty pleasure. There you go. My bad.
So
My
yeah,
wish
for your
list?
wish list?
2 wish lists. We're talking about it. Talking about pretty stuff. You know, 13 back when it came out, associated like first-person shooter. I would like to make somebody see like an anime style like first-person shooter.
Lock and X.
Huh?
I mean, you mean a
Something
Japanese developed first-person shooter?
No,
That's
well-
iffy territory, dude.
Yeah, but I would like to see something like that. Just
Maybe we'll see somebody come together. Maybe
not
Infinity Ward will.
like Paradise Mode and Ghost Squad is. Have you seen Paradise Mode?
We talked about that one
Yeah.
time on the show.
Yeah, okay, but I
That's
mean,
fine.
not like that.
So
Not like that. I want to be walking around with like a super soaker trying to shoot girls.
what I want to know is what's worrying you about the industry.
Okay, well,
Video
wish
game
no, my other
industry.
wish list. I have another wish list.
Okay.
So Namco went out and gave Nina Williams her own spin-off game, right?
Who's Nina Williams?
The Tekken character.
Oh, okay.
Death by Degrees.
Oh, okay.
She's a character from Tekken.
We
So
almost popped in yesterday. Yeah, but still, I can't believe it.
yeah, so let's maybe Capcom want to give Lady her own game, possibly.
I would play
Put in
that.
Devil May Cry quality, like
Battles.
battles.
I don't know why they didn't like. They should have made
Plenty
like
of room- There's plenty of room for good
Either,
spin-offs. in that
either
game.
playable or spin-off game. That's fine, dude.
I would have rather played her in special edition of Devil May Cry 3 than Virgil's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I would love to see Lady get her own game, and
She was not. She
That's-
was not.
That's probably a
used-
shameful secret. I
she
don't
was
know
not
anything
using
about
it enough.
this.
So
Devil May Cry
what? So
4.
what are you worried about?
Worried about my sweaty palms? I want to know why we haven't heard anything from Victor Ireland in a while.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good point. That shit happens. Shut the fuck up!
What?
Like every 2 seconds, Life or Death invites me to see Life or Death. This show on JTV. Jesus. Just up there, he's popping up every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Victor Ireland, he's the guy who he was the founder of Working Designs, and he
reported a bunch of Japanese PS2 RPGs over here.
yeah, I mean it was all about bringing over obscure Japanese RPGs and getting them published here, and it was like a really cool time during the PlayStation 1 days. Was kind of when it was biggest, and yeah, I mean that whole thing just went under
Yeah,
because
Sony gave him a bunch of crap, made him
Yeah.
release these ridiculous box sets with like watches and crap.
yeah, and he
he
announced
went off-
Gaijin Works, which is probably going to be the same thing. He said he kind of want to work with the 360, but since he announced that, nothing's really happened, and that's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I don't know how he has money to still do stuff.
What about you, Nick?
In terms of what I'm worried about, sweaty palms. There's been a lot of talk about KOTOR 3 from BioWare in terms of what if they actually decide to make it a massive multiplayer game instead of a single player game, which in my opinion would totally dissuade me from playing it.
I don't think there's any room.
That's
for
me
that.
too. I mean, I
It's
feel the
just-
exact same way.
It's just a rumor, but if they do it, I'm going to be very pissed at
I
Bioware.
don't think there's
First of
any
all,
room for that.
taking a single-player experience and then trying to finish out the story by totally changing up the game mechanic like that.
Didn't that
ruin
happen
it.
to the Matrix?
The Matrix.
Yeah.
The games?
The games and then like the movies and then they're like, okay, well, play the Matrix now online and finish
Oh yeah,
the story.
I forgot they made a Matrix Online
Oh,
game.
jeez.
Must have been horrible.
Yeah.
Guess
Okay.
who was developed by?
I think it was Monolith.
Yeah.
That was Monolith? Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think they had a hand in it. It's crazy. Sorry, Monolith.
No, I mean that was supposed to be certain aspects of it were supposed to be pretty
Yeah.
new and
Morpheus
different.
died.
I just haven't heard anything about it in a long time.
Wait, what? Is that it?
Well, was I going to do a shame secret and action, or are we just doing that? It's okay, what's up?
We'll do a hype machine real quick at the end.
Okay,
but,
quick, go for it.
My sweaty palms is just the fact that I have Crisis Core and I bought Patapon. I've been buying a lot of. I've been neglecting my handhelds like a ton lately.
Dude, I've missed my DS in like a week.
Because of fucking JTV. Because when I play video games, like fuck it, let's just broadcast,
Yeah.
And I'm a little worried. This isn't like industry related, but it's something I'm worried about going in the future. I mean, like me not having time to play my handhelds because before, my old job, I'd be able to take my handhelds to work and play them with a shitload. But now I'm not really traveling. I'm not really going anywhere. I don't have any place to take them, and I notice I'm kind of neglecting them, and I'm a little worried because there's a lot of good
That's
handhelds.
when I play my handhelds, like when we go back to Houston for a weekend.
I don't play many handhelds at all, so the fact that I'm even playing a handheld right now is like surprising to me.
Cool. Real quick, give me one game you're excited about.
Can I give you 4?
No.
Save them for next week.
Or give me 2.
Ikaruga, coming out on Xbox Live Arcade just on the 9th.
Cool.
Okay.
Arcana Heart comes out on Tuesday.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
American version, $29.99.
Awesome.
Wait,
Call Me for
but
the Wii
you,
this
but
week.
you don't need to buy it, right?
And Will Ends With You. And then,
But you don't need
I
to
don't
buy
need to
it.
buy it, but it's just, I'll look at it cover, and if it's like worth it, if the cover's worth it, I'll buy it.
The cover's okay. Cool.
Nick,
I'm gonna mention
are you
this.
gonna buy it? I
Probably not.
don't think I told you what I heard.
I just want people to know that it's coming out, and maybe it's a purchase.
Say,
I don't think I told you what I heard. And this is like no, this is real quick.
Quick!
The Wii functionality with the brush strokes, it's not good.
Okay, great.
That's fine.
I wasn't gonna buy it.
No, I'm just telling you. Maybe you shouldn't get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is a little farther off than the ones they've mentioned.
No, you're
I know,
South 4.
no, you're South 4, but here's
Oh,
why.
Jesus.
No, here's why. Because we actually broadcasted the Volume 2 DVD that came with the pre-order disc, and it had the history of Metal Gear Solid. And watching reminded me of all the different twists and turns of the series and stuff was actually really kind of like invigorating and made me really want to play it. So, like, I've been excited that I haven't been like this. This is finally built up.
You didn't manage it very well, dude. You have another couple of months.
I know,
You're gonna fizzle out
I was
before you
trying
get
Cool, Metal Gear Solid 4. We have no idea why he's hyped for it, but I guess he is.
Shut up.
I'm hyped for one game
Okay.
right now, and it's Soul Calibur 4, and this is why. Can you see? God, they really can't see. It's fucking Ivy. The artwork. I always get excited when I see the artwork for the new Soul Calibur game.
The art.
The hand-drawn artwork.
Check
yeah.
the blog. Check the blog. We got
Check the blog. I have a post. We can actually throw it
Hey,
in the
look.
chat now. But
Hey, no. Can we make that a contest officially? Right as we're closing down.
what?
well, we gotta do some.
We'll talk about after the show because we got.
We'll talk about after the show because
Check the links. We'll show.
check the forum. Our contest is gonna be updated. But
Check out the blog.
yeah, we're not in a fucking hurry, dude.
Yes, we are.
We have 3 minutes.
Go.
Okay. So what should we talk about?
God damn it, Brad.
Thanks for watching, guys. Just real quick.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for
Always
listening.
appreciate it, dude.
It's
It's good to know that there's people out there
yes.
kind of interested. in
You are
what
not
we're
that
doing.
exciting. But we would still like you to visit our site. We do have a blog. We try to keep it updated every day. Hopefully it's not everything you see like on Kotaku. We try to get our own thoughts out on the blog. Go to www.4playerpodcast.com. Check out our site there. We've been updating. It's like we said, the forum. Just look on the side. We have our forum there. You can download the MP3 version of our podcast, which has a better audio. Like some people, they kind of on JTV kind of tune in and out, don't catch the whole show. Download it, take it to work with you, listen to it there. It's pretty cool. You can also go on iTunes
And subscribe to us.
and subscribe to us if you want. You don't have to worry about actually downloading them. We have both our show and our top 5 up on there. And we want reviews. We want people to leave us reviews on iTunes. And you know what? I don't know why, but every time I listen to another podcast, they're always begging for iTunes reviews. So I guess we should too. You know, leave us reviews on iTunes. It'll make us happy, good or bad. We just want some. We want to know what
we want let us know so we can get better.
Tell us what we can fix. So
also one more thing that we'd like y'all to check out. Like first of all, people listen to the archives. Justin.tv is where we do our broadcast. We broadcast live feed every single day. You know, you go on and you'll see one of us playing some sort of game. But finally, we've been posting all of our Justin.tv links to YouTube, and we want people to like go and subscribe to like our YouTube account because you can get all the videos without having to mess around with the Justin.tv highlight interface. All the YouTube videos are there. You can link them, embed them, and show them to your friends, and we'll love you because. We want to get some our YouTube views up because that helps bring in an audience. We know a lot of people that listen. Are
60 seconds.
We know a lot of people that listen have come from YouTube, and we think that's really cool. And we want to see that community thrive.
That was all started because somebody was nice enough to just take one of those and pop it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
So people know about it.
Absolutely, and so we kind of started from there. So check us out. Thanks for this has been episode 57 of the 4Player podcast.
And we'll be back next week, guys.
Next week.
Thanks.
Peace.